Hello. Welcome back to the Chop Shop. Um, yeah, you can look at us. This is Aaron.
And I'm Damon. They have
And
maiden voyage on camera. We're doing it to it, man. As
yeah,
you can see, the technological shortcomings a little bit. You know, we'll be making upgrades and stuff as we go. But we got our faces on the internet. It's
that's
gonna have to be
that's
enough
what
for
it's all
now.
about, baby.
I'm dressed to the nines for the
Yeah,
first day, looking spiffy as hell in my Herbert jersey.
you had a better idea than me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're not making anything of it. This is like every other day for you.
yeah, yeah. You know how it goes.
I I
Zero
don't. Of
sugar,
course.
Dr. Pepper, and all.
Dr. Pepper. See, I mean, not all of us are carried by White Monster, but
I've already had two of those today.
it's actually my second one too. I am a fiend. I think I also had a Red Bull at Top Golf today. I went Top Golf for
Oh,
for like a maintenance appreciation thing, and it's awesome. I mean, all I know how to do is drive with golfing, so like worked out pretty good, and I got to have a fucking Red Bull and some appetizers. So
oh yeah, man, dude. Um, yeah. So first video show. Excited to get this going. We've been talking about it for a while, and it's actually here now. So let's just get right to it, man. It's weird in a few ways. This is going to be an unorthodox show because we're actually starting off with NBA today,
yeah, a brand new show talking whole new sports.
right?
Uh, OKC traded for the fucking TikTok goat. One of my as a not a very strong NBA fan, this is like one of my favorite players because he's just a riot on TikTok and the edits go
Yeah,
crazy. But other than that, I don't know a whole lot about him. I know he's got a lot of promise, and but I mean you mentioned in the chat that he's been battling injuries since he started,
yeah.
but
He was off to an absolute. I there, no doubt in my mind he was going to win Rookie of the Year last year, and then
yeah, that's what I
yeah,
thought. He was like the favorite for a long
yeah.
time.
Yeah, he went on a streak for a few weeks where he looked like one of the boys, and then had the year cut short, and then had a lot of promise this. I don't remember if he started day one this year, because that injury kind of happened early on last year, but
Right. It looks like he's played more games already this year. I think
oh
it was
wow.
like 30 something or I don't even know, but
Well,
uh,
they've got a lot of weird stuff kind of going on with the Sixers. They're like some guys are overperforming in ways. Maxi's blossoming still. VJ Edgecombe has kind of come in and he's a really good piece. Embiid is as healthy as he's been in a long time and he's playing good basketball. So I wasn't super, super shocked to see this happen. Um, and like I one thing about this trade that you know if you're like somebody like the Sixers in this perspective, do you kind of devalue the Thunder's first rounder because they have so many of them?
that and like it's going to be a high end pick too. I mean, it's a cliche to say it's like basically a second rounder, but like
Yeah.
anybody arguing if you say they gave like 4 second round picks and what was it? It was 1 first and 3 seconds, right? Which like literally any other team would be fucking like devastating, but it's actually chump change. Like we have like still more positive like draft value than the average team even after that.
It's
And,
I wouldn't say devastating, but I know what you're getting at.
right.
Seconds, see, like, and I know you know this. I'm just kind of saying it
No,
just to put it out in the air. Um, it's like firsts are really the main valuable pick in the NBA, and then if second, it just falls off a cliff. It's not like the NFL where it like incrementally kind of goes down.
like
And
I feel like a
we've seen it.
protected first would be like the same as like an NFL second or something. Maybe I don't know much about
Yeah,
first, but
that's the way I've kind of always seen it. Is like both rounds are kind of split into three rounds. Like your mid-range players or, your second rounders, late firsts or like third rounders. It's not a one-to-one comparison, obviously, but
right.
and then people want to always talk about, they want to get around this and they want to talk about like, oh, Nikola Jokic and Draymond Green were second round picks, and it's like, okay, keep going.
That's easily the NBA's version of Tom Brady was a sixth rounder.
That's 100% what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, let's keep
Like,
that list
all
going.
right, bro. Like, what's the fucking hit rate on that shit? Like, yeah, you can pull random anybody's out of the draft. Like, coaching is a thing, but
Yeah, for sure.
but
And,
then
and I like this for the Thunder. It's super low risk. I mean,
for them, yeah, absolutely. Like, they still
it
got more ammo if they want to
could
have
be
it.
super high reward. I mean, but we'll just have to see, I guess. Because my thing, and we've kind of discussed this on earlier episodes, is it's like, if you're somebody like the Thunder and you have all of these first round draft picks over the next few years, you're actually kind of wasting development for some of these guys that just straight up aren't going to get playing time. Maybe they get a lot of G League playing time, sure, but like that, it, you got to have actual on court experience.
Maybe there's value in like having a lot of them develop in the G League and being able to just like pick whichever ones stand out in whatever like position you need. You're just like, okay, well, we got a couple of guys that are training in the paint, and we're gonna bring them up and see what they got going on. But you're right. I feel like they almost bleed value out of their picks when they don't trade them, because like that's it. Like, I know you're looking at long term development and you're doing everything right at this point, so like why change it up? But you got to make a splash, man.
Yeah.
But is there really anybody right now that's like worth a splash? That's like on the market?
You're not really seeing. You're seeing the hype around Giannis,
Sure.
but
Has the deadline come and gone, or is it like
no,
tomorrow?
it's tomorrow. The deadline's tomorrow at 4 or 5 p.m., something like that. But and that's what's crazy about the deadline this year is normally we get 1 day on the deadline of trades like this, but we could do a whole show on just this trade deadline. It's been insane. We're on the first guy still. We're talking about the first guy, and it's just been absolutely bonkers. And they also got Mason Plumlee too. This was kind of a.
I don't know anything about him. What's he like?
He's a center.
The
Thunder.
Okay, see, I thought so. I didn't think that was a guy we had.
Yeah, he's a veteran, really good backup center. I mean, I like the move there a lot too. They're kind of building out the depth. They still, they play. I think they still play Jalen Williams at the 5 as well. I think he's injured. I
haven't been watching much. They play him at the 5?
Other Jalen Williams.
Oh yeah.
They're two of them.
Yeah, they two of them. I remember there was a third one in the draft, and they almost got 3.
Yeah,
that would have been so funny. They probably didn't draft him specifically because they're like, no, this is gonna get too confusing from a coaching standpoint. Like, we can't do this.
Yeah, I like those moves though. I think it. You've been preaching this. You got to make a move with some of these picks rather than just straight up pick a guy and never play him.
And I mentioned before we started talking that, like, obviously it's nice to get somebody more proven, but you're just not going to get like a lot of value, like proven value on the trade deadline day. And like we went out and got a shooter, and that's exactly what we need. We need some more reliability on the outside, and I don't know that he's going to be that, but if he is, then that could really fill an important role for us.
He can get really hot. He's had a really short career, and his career high in threes in a game is 6. So
did you say? Oh, you said 8 in the G League.
No, when he was in college.
Oh yeah, duh. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
He never in. We played the Spurs again tonight, man. That's we're taking them. We're taking them again.
I not a Thunder fan. I would like to see them take this one, because I think Spurs have a good idea on this matchup. I think Minnesota's been matching up pretty well with the Thunder too, but I'll move on just for the sake of time a little bit here. A lot of other trades. This is one I kind of want to get on a little bit, and on our first time visually on this podcast, I'm going to make my stance known on James Harden. I I can't believe this has been the most respectable, the most respectfully he's handled an exit with a team over the last
He wasn't
few
like
years or
demanding
so.
to be out, was he?
And from what it sounded like, it sounds like he requested a trade.
Okay,
Um, but like I don't think it was entirely of malice with this one.
sure.
I think a lot of it was timing. He knew that like his contract's about to be up. They're not about to throw him a bunch of money.
Right.
Um, so and with the trade they get Darius Garland, who is under contract for 3 years and is a decade younger.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
I was blown away that the Clippers acquired somebody who wasn't 35.
yeah, I like this.
Yeah.
Honestly, people have been kind of talking smack on it a little bit. I will say, from the Clippers' perspective, Darius Garland is a little bit injury prone. Um, I just,
He's
it's just
pretty
kind of
irregular.
insane
Shit.
that and I don't want to go too crazy into it and get onto a rant like a lot of people have been, but like James Harden's exits with all of these teams have just been insane.
Like
He's
bad.
not,
Bad.
yeah. I mean, we're talking about how many teams has he forced himself off? Like 5 or 6,
OKC legend, personally.
right? I don't
Most
know.
notably an OKC. Yeah, no, I mean it's been a lot of drama with the Harden stuff, but I feel like within the last few, I mean, he's gotten old enough that he's kind of maturing, and you don't really like. I haven't like heard about Harden in like a like inflammatory way in a long time. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I was pretty surprised when he got traded, and then it like I was like, oh shit, Harden's traded, and then they're like in the fourth team change in 5 years, and I was like, oh yeah, this is really
yeah.
normal stuff. I forgot.
Death, taxes, and James Harden getting traded around the trade deadline. I mean,
Darius Garland. So like, what's his skill set like? Like, how do you think that's going to work around with like a Kawhi and then whatever else they got going there?
they're kind of similar. Um, Darius
Like
Garland's
him and Harden
really,
or him and Kawhi?
yeah, with Harden. Darius Garland though is a little small. I think he's 6'1". Um, I would say kind of he's like a combo guard, kind of like, yeah, basically like I said, um, similar
Yeah,
to James Harden. I think it's going to work out pretty decently. I like the idea of them kind of going youthful here. I've heard a lot of people talk about James Harden being a playoff shrinker, and yeah, with Darius Garland, you do have playoff questionability and injury issues, but he's 26 and he's been to the playoffs 3 times.
Mhm.
So I
And
don't
like,
care about that. Yeah.
I kind of feel as if the like James Harden playoff shrinker thing too. I feel like it was a lot of like almost wasted MVP years where he kind of just had to play like ISO hero ball all the time, and it's like no shit, you're gonna fall off at that point. Like that's not proper ball. Like that's not how you're supposed to be playing. Like no shit, it's gonna stop working once you get to the playoffs and like somebody's like playing you different. Like you think that's maybe like fair to say that, or is that a
That's
little out there?
fair. That is fair to an extent, I think. Um, the one big thing was with the Sixers. Um, they didn't have Embiid in a game 7. And I think James Harden trotted out there and got 7 points. I'm almost positive it was
Oh
seven
yeah, I
points.
think I do think I remember that.
Uh,
That had to have been an all time shrinker moment for sure.
no, 100%. And it's like that almost kind of like counteracts what you were just saying. It's like, here's your time to do what you like to do and play
Yeah,
hero ball.
but it's the
But
same
no,
thing.
you're right.
It's
It
like that's
doesn't
way
work.
more. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He also, I
Even
think,
if,
kind of graduated to the point guard position of his career by that point a little bit as well. But
right, I
this
think at
that
that
kind
point he had started getting more assists and being a more well rounded player, and that's kind of why it worked. Like you're supposed to
yeah.
have Embiid, but injuries happen, especially to Embiid, and you know.
My thing is though, is it's like there's a wide gap between playing the hero ball you were playing and expecting to do that all the time and getting more than 7 points in a game 7. Like you could have at least landed in here or something.
For sure, for sure.
but I get it's not
Uh,
sustainable.
would you
Just
consider
wanted to
like
touch on that just a little extra. Cavs also got Keon Ellis and Dennis Schroeder out of this deal. You get Dennis, or not out of this deal, in a separate deal.
oh,
They had a big three. I think this is the one that also had the Bulls with Dario Saric, whatever. But they also got Keon Ellis and Dennis Schroeder. I think Cavs have rounded out their roster really well. I think they're going to be able to make a push to be kind of a top contending team in the East. There's a
they
lot
were
of
last
mess
year,
going
right?
on. Yeah, I think they were the first seed, if I'm not mistaken. I know they
They
had
got
like the number one offense.
they got Pacered, right? One
Yeah.
like yeah, I mean that's just devastating. So which they don't got to worry about them this year. So
Right.
we'll see how that goes. From the Darius Garland end of this, is he more like ball dominant? You think, or do you think he's maybe something a little different?
Yeah, he does require to have the ball a little bit, and I think that's part of the reason why they broke up Donovan
Donovan
Mitchell.
Mitchell.
And yeah, I always want to say Donovan Molero, shout out Hail the Sun, but
Oh,
whatever.
hell yeah, yeah, he's dope. I didn't know
But
his last name, but
Donovan Mitchell, which this is kind of a positive for that, because like I was saying, Harden has become more of a point guard side of the combo guard aspect in the last few years. Um, Whereas Garland is kind of a volume shooter a little bit.
okay,
He's questionable on the defensive end. My least favorite thing about not Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, is his defensive ability. I think he's lackluster at that. Um, and people would lead you to believe the same thing with James Harden. That narrative's kind of aged, in my opinion. He's
right,
much better at defense than he used to be. Still under average, probably, but it's not this glaring, obvious inability in his game anymore. But, yeah.
right, okay, and I think that works too for the Clippers a little bit because like you're pairing him with a star who like is good on defense and like doesn't really need to be like that. So
Yeah.
I think that could work pretty decently, especially if they get him for a couple of years. I don't know how long he's going to be around, but at least for this year. Are they even
Yeah,
relevant this year?
they weren't. And then they became the hottest team in basketball after they told Chris Paul to stop showing up. They went,
Oh.
dude, I said the Clippers were a piece of shit organization after they did all this. Like, this is
I
literally one of
remember
your
that,
franchise.
man.
They went 15-3 after that happened. Sorry, I
Yeah,
guess. Obviously, he was a dick or something.
that's absurd, man.
Speaking of which, he got dealt to
He's-
the Raptors today, and the Raptors immediately told him he doesn't have to report or anything.
Was it
Yeah,
just a cap dump or whatever?
something, I guess. And just, and this is his last season. I think we're kind of seeing a little bit of the true side of Chris Paul a little bit this year or something. People don't fuck with that guy, apparently. Um,
You're starting to see the outside of it a little bit more.
Maybe. I mean, the dude announces this is his last year, and he's been disrespected the most in his entire career this season. I mean, he's
Like
being
no
asked
red
not to
carpet at
play.
all. They're just
No, not at all.
wow.
And also, like, um, I don't even remember what else I had on that. Yeah, it just crazy to me the way that guy's kind of being slandered.
I think there was like one more pretty big move, right? The Anthony
Yeah,
Davis trade.
Trey Young and Anthony Davis are Wizards. Well, Trey Young has been for about a month.
I thought I remembered something happening with the. I guess I was just like, is he gonna do anything there? Do you think that's a good combo? Like I know they're both kind of
On paper, this Wizards roster is actually pretty decent. Um, and dude, I hate to beat down this narrative, especially because I don't know if you remember or not. I said this narrative was dead, that AD was injury prone a couple years back. I said it's a tired joke, all this stuff, and then the last 2.5 seasons, he's completely proven that I'm an idiot, and I was wrong.
he had like the worst timed injury of all time last year.
Yeah,
That was awful.
and he,
Dude, they're
I,
so lucky. That still drives me so crazy just thinking about how fucking lucky that organization is, man. Get rid of the fucking lottery. I'm already sick of it.
I mean, And the fact that what is being asked out of Cooper Flag this season too, and the fact that he's still producing is just insane to me.
Yep.
He,
He
I
looks
think,
good.
I think he's now the third youngest person to score 50 or something like that. So it
So,
happened the other night. It was Hornets versus Mavericks, and two of the rookies just showed out.
of
Crazy.
course, it was against the Hornets.
Well, Hornets won.
Did they?
Yeah, Con
Oh,
Canupel, their rookie, has
all
been
right.
a dog.
All right. Wait, so who's going crazy for the Hornets?
Con Canupel, something like
Oh, they're
that.
8-2 last 10. What the fuck?
Yeah, they've actually been kind of solid. I think they're gonna mess
Got a
around and
long
make
way
the
to go,
playoffs.
but
Oh yeah, for sure.
only a few games.
Um,
Um,
and really the last thing I kind of wanted to touch on real quick is I hate that this is the first time I truly hate the fact that we record this show on Wednesday, because I don't know what's going to happen with the Bulls from now until tomorrow's trade deadline. Um, I
it is-
I'm done trying to make predictions on what's going to happen going forward. Um, we're just going to have to see. I mean, there's guys that I think there's now been multiple people to be Chicago Bulls for like 12 hours. I think there's
oh,
more
did
than
they
one
just ship
person.
them back out in another trade or
Yeah,
something?
it's just it's been at one point over the last few days we had seven guys on our roster under 6'6" within the last that was
Wow,
yesterday when I got off work. I was looking through the roster and I was like, one, two, three,
man.
nuts. So we'll see. Latest thing that just happened: Mike Conley and Kobe White got shipped out to the
Kobe
Hornets.
White's gone.
Kobe
To where?
White's gone to the Hornets. Sorry,
Oh
buddy.
shit. How do you like that?
I don't.
Well, for the
Um,
Hornets, is it good?
we I like Kobe White. I think he is going to work well next to LaMelo. I just don't. The Hornets roster construction is really weird, and we're just going to have to see what happens with that team going forward. There's a lot of promise there, but I haven't done like a super deep dive. I forgot Colin Sexton was a Hornet, to be completely honest with you. I saw that he was part of the deal, and I was like, oh, I did forget about that. Like,
Oh, he went to the Bulls.
we went to the Bulls within this trade. So now I'm even thinking, like, because we
What's
got
that lineup
Anthony.
look like now?
I don't even know. It's like Colin Sexton, Anthony Simons, Modest Buzelis. Um,
You like Simons, right?
I do like Simons, but I don't know how he might get shipped out. I don't know. I don't know what this team.
Oh, that's
I don't know.
true. He could just be
Genuinely,
gone
I have no
tomorrow.
idea. He might be gone tomorrow. I don't know.
Oh no.
The only people on this roster that I am fully convinced will be Bulls at the trade deadline are Modest Buzelis and Josh Giddey. Those are the only two guys I am 100% certain are not getting shipped. 95% certain, actually.
Right. I mean,
95.
anything
I
can happen.
wouldn't be totally shocked.
I mean, you
Because
would have said at the like a week before the deadline last year that you were 100% sure that Luca wasn't moving, but stuff happens. Like,
are the Bulls going to view this as like a 2 to 3 year bridge scenario where they're like kind of effective, they're kind of competitive, and then these few moves happen and then they kind of have this big surgence? Or are we totally tearing this thing down, winning 10 games next year and seeing what happens? I don't know. I don't think they have the fucking balls to do that. I don't.
it's tough in the NBA, man. When you tear down in the NBA, you can be irrelevant for like a long time. Like, and then you like suddenly you get the right guy and it's like, cool, now we just need to get like 6 more guys, easy. And it's
I
tough.
had this conversation with friend of the show, Sean, where and I'll actually argue against the point that I made to him a little bit on this. I think
You got a
in
little
the
mini Skip
NBA,
Bayless here.
what?
So got a mini Skip Bayless here.
Yeah. NBA is the one place where one player can make a a shitty team. They can make straight up single handedly make the playoffs.
Right.
I don't think that same roster construction. I don't think it can win you any more than maybe a playoff series.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Like with like one guy, unless it's like,
Yeah,
but how often you get LeBron?
and yeah, exactly. And then you think about LeBron's career, and you think of like two times that he brought a shit team
Like
to the
literally
finals, and
nothing.
yeah, and he
Yeah.
never won. He never won. And yeah, okay, that that's maybe counter arguing my point about that can't happen with one guy. Okay, if the exception to my rule is LeBron James, it still proves my point.
Yeah, yeah. The Tom Brady argument again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So I have it's a developing thought for me where I do think basketball is a sport where one guy can completely transform a team, and out of the major four, it's the only one of the four that you can do that with.
Hmm.
But I still think that the only way to win a ring in the NBA is to have top to bottom great roster construction.
Yeah, you got to have a rare gem, if not. Like other than that, it's like as of recently, it's just been rare gems like LeBron, and then like a random stuff like Kawhi on the Raptors, and then well built teams, and
Yeah.
even the Kawhi. I mean, obviously that was a lot of injuries and stuff, but like But I agree with you. It's the past few years, it's just been really well rounded teams.
Yeah. I think
Like the Nuggets weren't gonna win if Michael Porter Jr. was shooting like garbage, and just they just can't do
Jamal
it.
Murray also had a great playoff run that
Yeah.
year. Bruce Brown was instrumental on that team. It's like the big three era of the NBA, I think, is kind of dying a little bit. It's not dying, I guess. It's just transforming. You're no longer going to see a big three like Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and Kevin Durant. You'll
Hmm.
see a 1, a 3, and a 5.
Oh yeah, people that are different body types to create a big three. I mean, that's always the way it should have been anyway. Like you want to have a balanced roster, and like you can't just like for the most part you can't just have like one superpower and then win it all. Like that doesn't usually happen.
Yeah. Or another one I see a lot is like a 1A, 1B scenario, and then like a really good sixth man, and then like a
Or a
key
defense guy.
defender. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Like the Celtics had with I can't remember his name. The guy with the hair.
Marcus Smart.
That guy.
Yeah.
Guy. But yeah, no, I mean it's just like it's never gonna the big three thing and then just like giving away all your depth. Why do you think that's gonna work? And what like I just don't understand how you think you can just like bare bones it. Like even when the Knicks I think last year went on that big run where they were playing their starters in like an insane rate, like a fireable rate, and
Yeah.
like even that wasn't gonna work because you gotta have depth. You gotta put other guys in.
I think it really has to do with seeing it be not as successful as we thought it was going to be, but pretty successful in terms of the Miami Heat with LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh. But then you have to stop and think it's like, this is LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and a prime Chris Bosh.
Yeah, this
I
isn't like
mean,
this isn't Booker, KD, and fucking who's the other guy they got?
yeah, Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal.
Yeah,
Yeah, like that's not the
no,
same. It's
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, and actually, that's an even better example than
That was horrible.
Harden, Kyrie, and KD. Yeah, because
Yeah, at
that's
least with
just
the Nets, it was like they just never got on the court at the same time, and it fizzled out due to drama. Like the Suns were just
yeah,
bad. Like they're just a bad
yeah, it was
team.
a bad team,
Yeah.
terrible team. But and then really quickly, just a few that we might see over the next couple days. Giannis still hasn't happened. I'm not convinced this is happening at the deadline. I think this is happening in the off season.
What PJ said in the chat was funny. It's like, do they just hate him? Why are they so mean? Let him out. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
people don't
think they're
want.
just they're trying to maximize the value they get out of this,
Yeah. End up
and
getting
that's
that.
just yeah. Well, like at the deadline, you really only like you're never gonna see seeds 1 through 3 really make huge things happen at the dead. May okay, 1 or 2. If you're a first or second seed, you're
Okay.
not making crazy moves. Whereas like
I'll see.
I don't think there's anything off the table when you're in the off season.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah,
You,
like there's trades that just don't make sense in the middle of the season. Like I kind of thought the KD trade didn't make sense last year, like to do that mid-season. That was weird.
yeah.
The Luca one too.
Yeah, that one just
Oh, wait, he was under like he needed a contract, didn't he?
I don't even remember, to be honest with you.
Who cares?
That's just yeah, crazy.
Who cares?
But
Any more on
yeah,
these trades?
oh yeah, yeah, the Giannis trade, John Morant, I still think that's going to happen. I think that's another one that's going to happen in the offseason.
Did
I
I
think they're
hear a
going to.
buzz about him going to the Heat? Is that fake?
I've also heard a lot about Giannis going to the Heat. Or you mean that there was a deal done for John?
No, no, like
Oh,
rumors
that's
that
fine.
they're working on one.
Yeah,
I
I've
feel like
I've
they're
heard
in every
Giannis
trade
rumored as
conversation.
well. I I, I don't know if the Heat are actually
You need to
buying him.
get Ja and Giannis on the Heat. That way, when Ja goes and recklessly dunks, Giannis can just catch him to make sure he doesn't fall and break everything.
Yeah,
Perfect scheme fit.
I love that.
Good.
I would like to see Michael Porter Jr. traded as well. He's having like a career year
Yeah, where's
because
he
he's
at right now? I can't even
with
remember. I
the
heard.
Brooklyn Nets.
Oh yeah, I heard he's been on fire, but
Been pretty good.
I don't know. I guess it's like, is he like the one there?
Yeah, basically.
Cool. That's kind of what you have to do when when you're giving him nicknames like Michael, never a shot I don't like Porter Jr.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I mean,
Does it swing the rock, Porter Jr.?
just, yeah, may as well let him just shoot. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just get Michael Porter Jr. on your team and then nothing but defenders.
Oh, 1 point guard too.
We're gonna
That's
allow.
just looking
Yeah.
at him.
What's up?
1 point guard too. That's just looking at him.
Yeah, yeah, literally, it's like just setting screens and like he's like quarterbacking, basically trying to set up blockers for Michael Porter Jr. to get open for a shot that's covered, and he'll
Get
miss
open
it, but
for
the
a
defense
shot
will
that's
allow
covered.
80 points a game, so it's okay.
Love it.
Dude will shoot like a 25, but it'll be fine.
Experiences.
Trade stuff anymore?
Nah, I was gonna say we could probably hop over to our main side of the show. NFL, baby.
Yeah, dude, we talked for NBA for 35 minutes, man. That's nice. That's some good time.
I
A
like
little
it.
nugget for the NBA fans out there.
Yeah, and kind of a preview what's to come too. We're definitely going to be getting into some NBA content
I'm
once
excited,
NFL's
dude.
in the off season and we get into playoffs. Oh, yeah. So
I'm super excited. What are we moving on to first? What's the I
yeah,
can't
I actually I want your breakdown here. I wanted to jump in and compare the situations that are kind of happening here with the split of Harbaugh and the Ravens. So
Oh
kind of,
yeah.
what do you think's going on with the Giants? What do you like? What do you not like? What's going on with the Ravens? What do you like? What do you not?
I think the Giants is really unfortunate. Like, I mean, like obviously when they first started, like the John Harbaugh and the what everybody believed was going to be Todd Monken duo was really promising because Monken was able to transform Lamar into a more consistent and like pro style quarterback, if you want to call it that. And they could have easily done that for Jackson Dart, who kind of struggles with the same stuff. He has to kind of run a lot, and you know, I mean, obviously he's still growing and getting better, but I think they just like unfortunately got down to a place where all of their best options didn't want to be there. And I heard they were trying to get Cliff Kingsbury in, which I think is a really good like bridge offensive coordinator, but he ended up like pulling out and didn't want to do it. So at that point, like, oh, what are you supposed to do? And then you end up settling for Matt Nagy, and like, I don't hate Matt Nagy. Like we've talked about Matt Nagy before. I think he looked pretty solid as the Bears play caller when he was there for a little bit, like until that kind of bottomed out the way that it did. But I don't know. I feel like he did a really good job at like adjusting to what the league was doing. I noticed throughout the season, his first year with the Bears, he started to do some of the like McVay really creative design stuff, and I think it worked wonders for like a limited team that like behind Mitch Trubisky, who was fine. And I don't know. I feel like he can. I think he can work some stuff with the team, but we might be looking back as seeing this as a regrettable hire. And what do you think about it?
I saw a breakdown, and I even remember a lot of this in real time. Being somebody that has experienced Matt Nagy,
Yeah,
I was looking at numbers of the Bears offense when Nagy let Bill Lazor call plays, because there were just like random off weeks where he would give up play calling to Bill Lazor, and the offense performed better under Bill Lazor.
interesting.
Yeah, just like it was like a 1-to-1 comparison of like offense under Bill Lazor calling plays, and Matt Nagy, and yeah,
Yeah,
they definitely
similar to
performed
like
better. He hasn't been a play caller with the Chiefs. I mean, that's
yeah,
that's the big thing here. I, I am not. I'm not convinced that Matt Nagy can't put a good offense together in 2026. I'm not convinced that he's terrible. I'm not even convinced that he's like an awful head coach the way some people were acting, when the Titans interviewed him. I thought it was a
mm.
fine interview, not, whatever. We'll see what
I
you got.
heard that was actually pretty serious for a bit, and they kind of had to like reevaluate their search but I never really believed it, but I don't know.
I didn't think it was going to happen, and I do think they're going in a better direction with Solid.
Me too.
You know,
I actually
regardless of the
like
fact
Solid.
that I'm not completely giving up on Matt Nagy, but we have seen both a bad history of when he does call plays and a hesitancy to even want to call plays. I don't like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's not great. And like you have like a mid offense with like Pat Mahomes, and yeah, like obviously a lot of that offense was him just like rescuing the Chiefs. So like I could see where you wouldn't like it's like, oh, now we got Jackson Dart and he's kind of got to do the same thing, but he's obviously not Pat Mahomes. And I don't know, they got better weapons, maybe. I mean, actually, yeah, I don't even know that I could say that, but I don't know. I
Include
mean, when
Wandale
you look at
Robinson.
like he's a free agent, buddy.
That's why
Future
I said you
Bear.
can't include him.
What?
You can't include Wandale Robinson.
So I
Yeah,
thought you said they got Wan'Dale
no,
Robinson. Like, yeah,
no, you
dude,
can't
he's
include him.
elite. So it's a good point. No, but no, I think you're always going to be disappointed when you get. Well, not always. I think most of the time you're going to be disappointed when you get your third or fourth pick at coordinator, and that's probably something they're going to have to go back to the drawing board next year. Hopefully, he's good enough to make Jackson Dart make it a promising spot. And
That's big. And then also, I think one thing people are kind of viewing this as like, oh man, who wouldn't want to go coach Jackson Dart and Kent Scott, all this stuff. And I've seen a lot of that. Like this is like the great, like just an insanely good opportunity and all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, there's a lot of promise from the way I'm viewing it. There's a lot of promise here, but there's almost literally nothing that's completely proven about this roster other than the fact that Malik Neighbors is going to be.
yeah, it's like it's as stars as scrubs as it gets.
Yeah.
Like Neighbors is sick. Scatabo is going to be sick. They might get somebody like Carnell Tate. That'd be sick too. They got Andrew Thomas, who's awesome at left tackle. But then outside of that, that's just like nothing. It's just a barren wasteland ready to be filled with talent. And I don't know that Harbaugh's putting in a good enough group together to make it as good as you need it to be.
Well, my point was kind of more so being like Scatterboot, yeah, he looks sick, but is there going to be an injury issue there?
Right.
Same thing with Jackson Dart. I mean,
What
how
was his
many times
injury again? Was it a
it was
Achilles?
bad? It,
Or did he
I don't
break something? I can't remember what he did.
I think he broke his leg or something like that.
Gross.
I
I
think I
think
remember
he'll
him
be
leaving in a cast.
I think he'll be fine because he didn't like rely on athleticism anyway. He more was just like a hard runner. Severe right ankle injury and an open tibia fracture. Like that's obviously bad, but I think I just like I said, I don't think anybody was drafting him or relying on him to like hit big gains. Like I think if he can just be that consistent churner like they need him to be, I think that's something he can bounce back from. But you're right. I mean, injuries can be tricky, and Neighbors had a
Yeah.
devastating injury too. So
Yeah. Well, and I even mean like consistency of like nagging injuries. Is that going to be a thing
oh,
with,
concussions probably. I would guess
yeah. Jackson Dart was evaluated for a concussion like 17 times this year.
he's he's also gonna have that problem. Like he needs somebody to like reel him in for sure. That's kind of why I
100%.
wanted the Todd Monken because like he reeled in Lamar, and I think that could have been better. And he's adamant that he's not gonna change the way he plays. You just
You're
can't.
not going to play that long then.
Yeah,
I
yeah, you
mean,
have to change. It's just everybody needs to, and then when you don't, you end up looking like Russ or Cam Newton, and
yeah,
it just ends faster than you want it to.
yeah, 100%. And yeah, I mean, I don't mind the Matt Nagy move. I just don't think is. It wasn't even their top five choice. Let's be real.
Better or worse than the Greg Roman hire? I think Greg Roman's like the baseline average OC hire. So like,
Am I laying for copping out and saying even two?
no, I think
I
that's
think
fine.
this is like an average hire.
Yeah, I
I
would
don't think.
say I don't. Yeah, I don't know how to think about this one. Like, it's fine, and it's like risky, and like, at least he's done it. At least he's called plays. Like people are out there hiring fresh coordinators that haven't called plays yet. So, well, I don't know.
I would be more negative on this hire if they went into their off season focused on making this hire. The fact that they've had to reassess their situation multiple times and then fell into the situation where they have to get in, I'm fine with it. I would be more concerned if they were like completely sold on, because they
Yeah.
obviously aren't completely sold.
I think it's kind of just like their plan A was Monken, and I think it was a good one, and then they just didn't
Yeah.
have a plan B. So like, yeah,
Well, Cleveland swooped in there, and I don't think it was a bad idea to do so.
yeah. I mean, if that's the case, we can probably pivot to that. So what do we think about the Cleveland hire? This was like an embarrassing display of head coaching hiring, and not bad, not too bad of an end.
Not
Like
terrible.
I mean the hiring cycle, like the interview
Yeah.
process and stuff.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I don't mind this move. It's fine. I think in context with everything else going on with the Cleveland Browns, I don't really like their off-season outlook in general. I think there's so much more they need to worry about than if their two-time coach of the year was going to be the groundbreaking change this franchise needed.
Hmm.
And they're just deciding, well, obviously we need to move on because he hasn't changed the culture, or something. Given that completely removed though the context of all that, just base going for who was in the pool, who they ended up getting. I like this. I think I think with every other decision that they make down this road now, you need to be more focused. Like I think you need to immediately, like, Todd Monken, every waking moment until the season starts needs to be thinking about what they're doing at the quarterback position.
Yeah,
Are they rocking with Shador going forward?
I
You
think year one they probably are. I'd say
Yeah,
I'd where they want to go. And Munkin wanted to draft him when they were on the Ravens to be like a backup. I mean, like everybody can say that, but he ended up telling him that too when he went to go meet him with the Browns, and I think they can have something. I mean, Shador was slanging it in that Pro Bowl last night. Just
I had to
saying,
turn that off. Oh my
just
goodness.
saying. No, he threw like a really gross pick at one point,
The
but
one are you talking about the one that went through Jamar Chase's hands?
I don't remember. I think it was I don't
God.
remember. It doesn't matter. But uh this hiring process. I like the end. I have heard a lot about the process of this coaching candidacy, and like there's the major stuff that people are talking about where they were like saying that they were like sending them homework and stuff and
Yeah,
doing
I
a bunch
forgot
of other
about this.
bullshit. That's really dumb. You don't do that. Like, guys, you're the Browns. Like, honestly, like you're already gonna have a hard time hiring a coach because you're the Browns and you're in a horrible situation and it's fucking Cleveland and like and then you make it worse for yourself doing that and like every like reasonable coaching candidate backed off and but I also the big thing about it is that they were like weighing their coaching candidates based on whether or not they wanted to work with Jim Schwartz as a D coordinator because they wanted to keep him as the D coordinator and it's like at that point like it's down to Todd Monken and Jim Schwartz as your head coach pick. Just fucking pick Jim Schwartz if you want to keep him so damn bad. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And then and they end up insulting the guy by picking Todd Monken, and now he fucking wants out. So now you design this entire process on somebody working with this guy that's not going to end up being there, and you got to replace him anyway. And it's crazy how like this went so bad, and then they got like the perfect guy for like what they need, and like he's going to be like a scapegoat. Like this is going to be like Smith and shit on the Texans. Like they're gonna probably go the next 2 years, very, very likely rolling with Shador, regardless of how bad it gets, and eventually fire him and try to get somebody else once it gets a little bit more stable in there. I don't know how well that's gonna work because they just can't get talent on their team at all. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I think Stefanski was even kind of a scapegoat. To be completely honest with
I think
you,
that was a mercy killing. Like they said, "All right, bro, you've dealt with enough. Go do what you want to do." And
yeah,
I don't
there
know how
was
to
some question. I think I even went on record on the show to say that him pulling the Wildcat shit for two at the end of that
he
one game
wanted
was
to get
fire
fired.
worthy. That was stupid as hell. But honestly,
Yeah, yeah.
it's the Browns. He was having fun. Who fucking cares? I mean, come on, let's be
Yeah,
real. Dude
dude
was
was
like,
full
watch
on
this.
memeing on a.
And
Dude was
I
like
actually heard this
aching for
take.
clicks.
I heard this take that if that play would have worked out, we actually would be talking about how he's a fucking genius.
They always say that. I don't think so. Like
So
I'd
either.
still probably be talking about. I would be back on the show saying how dumb it is, but you know, it is dumb too. I don't like the only reason you wouldn't want Shador in that moment is because he's gonna like sell the game. It doesn't matter. Like that's a 2 point to like either win or lose. Like I mean, at that point, you want a quarterback in that's gonna be like high upside, which he is. Like you'd bench him because of his low lights and his downside and his ability, like his prone to turn the football over. But it really was dumb, and he probably was just trolling the whole time. He's like, yeah, it's fuck this team. I'm getting out of here. I don't want to win
Yeah,
this game.
writing was on the wall
Yeah.
all year with that. I mean, the way
And
he
the
conducted
offense
himself.
bad. Like
Yeah. What else did I have on here? Oh, the LaFleur brothers are both coaches now.
oh yeah, Mike LaFleur got that Cardinals job. I liked this. What'd you think about this?
Fine. I don't
They got somebody else
I
I liked. Who did they get?
just forget it.
They got a defensive coordinator I liked, I think.
The only one I had written down. I just had a few points here. Yeah, I don't mind this. It's hilarious that Gannon goes to work with Matt LaFleur and Michael LaFleur takes Gannon's job.
Wait, what?
It's funny that Gannon goes to work with Matt LaFleur and then Mike LaFleur takes his job.
That is kind of funny.
But yeah, I think this is fine. I
Oh, they
also
hired Nathaniel Hackett as offensive coordinator. I didn't like it. I just thought it was interesting.
I was gonna say that's a noteworthy thing that they did.
Yeah, noteworthy is a good way to describe it. I think they're both McVay guys. I'm pretty sure. I
Yeah.
like Mike LaFleur. I think he's done good things, like where he's went. I can't remember where he was. I can't remember, but I know I've heard good things about him, and I don't know. They don't
Do we have
exactly have
any?
options in Arizona, so
Not really. Do we have any updates on Chris Shula? Has anything happened here?
I think he's going to return probably, man. I don't even know if we have any other job availabilities. Do we?
See, in
I
the
think
report that's
everybody who
come
was
out,
there happened.
yeah, that's the thing is it's like now that this report's come out about the Steelers saying he bombed the interview, I'm hearing a lot of reports, Steelers fans and reports from Steelers fans and stuff like that talking about how, it's a bullshit report. And that's where I initially was,
Right.
likely could be. But the fact that he's, I don't know. I feel like the fact that he's returning to the Rams kind of gives a little bit of weight to that story, but eh.
Yeah, I mean, it is or it isn't. I really don't have a good answer on that. Like I just don't have much to say. I mean, like the top defensive coordinate or candidate got hired, and then Saleh got hired, and he had head coaching experience. So
Exactly.
I just maybe he bombed it. I don't know. We'll have to see in the future if even Flores didn't get another job. I don't know if that was his choice, but you know,
He did get he got an extension. I wonder if he
that's
didn't
so awesome for
love.
the Vikings. By the way, like keep him as
No,
long
I
as you can for sure.
I hate it
Well,
because I'm a
yeah,
Bears fan. I fucking hate it.
I'm sure you
So
do.
if I hate it, it's a good thing. Um, and I also think Flores took a look around, saw what he got himself into in Miami, and said, let me run my money up a couple more years. We'll reassess. I think he wants a couple more notches on his belt to be like more of a proven defensive coordinator. I think he wants to end on a better note in Minnesota.
Hmm.
Um, there's a lot of, the fact that they went 9-8 this last year is insane, considering what they were throwing out there at the QB position for weeks.
Considering it was so dog shit at the QB position, yeah.
Just insane. Outside of JJ's like few decent games and Carson Wentz's heroic performances here and there, this was like one of the
Bless him.
worst quarterback teams in the entire league.
Yeah, bless him. He gave my Chargers a really memorable Thursday night. I was happy about that. I was like, oh, bro, we're
Was that
killing
when
Carson
he was like
Wentz.
dead?
Yeah, like he was like fighting through an injury he shouldn't have even been playing through or something. It was we really had a lot of like fortunate matchups this year. Like there was a lot of it. It was a lot of like we're like a stable team on our own, but we did have to go against a lot of teams in their like worst shape.
Yeah.
And yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
But
Um, the
any other
only other thing I have, Davis Webb, OC of the Broncos. I believe you
they did
called
promote him?
this. They did.
Hell
I
yeah.
believe you called this. I
I
think this
did.
was like yesterday.
Fuck yeah.
So
No,
yeah,
I assumed it was that. Like for them to just like
makes sense.
scapegoat Joe Lombardi, I was like, that can't be what you're doing. There's no way. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think they just wanted him. They didn't want somebody else to go poach him as a coordinator because he was just like a quarterback's coach or whatever, but or passing
Yeah.
game coordinator. I don't know.
I think
But
passing game. I don't
um,
know.
so like, so he is on that same like Kellen Moore timeline where he's like a backup quarterback, and then in a couple of years he gets an offensive coordinator. The Eagles also got a guy like this with a Sean Mannion. I'm pretty sure they hired. He was a quarterback's coach on the Packers for a while, and it's like the same move. It's another guy who was a lifetime backup, shifting into being a coordinator. So we'll see. Never called plays, obviously. We'll see if somebody like keys his car or something.
Yeah. And I say this a lot on the show, but I don't want to get too much into this. But um, I think if you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan, you need to reassess your shit and
Dude, if
realize
you
that
live in Philly, calm the fuck down. Like, what are you doing?
you just ruined an off season for this team, straight up.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah,
Nobody
absolutely.
wants to. Nobody wants to be a coordinator in your city, dude.
Like, not only is this like ruining the offseason, this could get Sirianni fired, like straight up.
Straight
Like if
up.
this is a disaster year at the offensive coordinator position again, he could get fired, and I think that's super unfair. I'm like the world's strongest Sirianni defender, and I'm not going to get into all that today, but yeah, you could lose out on a genuinely amazing coach because like you just won't
Super
leave
Bowl winning coach.
offensive coordinator. Like granted, like when it bottoms out, it's ugly, but like even when it's ugly and bottoms out, they still fucking make the playoffs. Like, and then when it's good, they're making a Super Bowl if not winning it. And
Yeah.
I just it's a bummer if you're if you're a Philly fan who's not
Piece of
terrorizing the
shit.
offensive coordinator, then this sucks for you.
I straight up didn't even hear about that until Kevin Patullo.
Okay.
Oh my god, I already forgot his name. Yeah, about I didn't even hear about
Me
it.
with Greg Roman, just like for it's like yeah, he's out of this story now. We don't got to think about him.
Yeah, but the egging thing, I didn't even hear about that until like kind of recently. I didn't even know this happened. Or maybe
Mm.
I did and I forgot. Was it earlier in the year?
I don't know when it happened. I just started hearing about it like a couple weeks ago. I imagine it probably after the playoffs would be my guess.
I mean that's just straight up insane. And who
Yeah, it's
was it? Oh,
immature as fuck.
it was
It's
Mike McDaniel, wasn't it? That was going to interview and then decided not to.
I think it was Brian Dable, which literally he went to go coach a fucking Cam Ward in Tennessee with nothing on there instead of going to the Eagles with all that talent. Because like, why would you want to?
Yeah.
Why would you want to go through that? Like, you could like literally just kill your career if that goes poorly. And yeah, that's
Yeah.
it's devastating what they had to go through. But I think they got a promising guy. I don't know a whole lot about him, but I know the Packers are a pretty well-oiled machine. And Malik Willis came in, and he looks like a promising starter that's probably going to get a pretty solid contract. And I think they might they might have something there.
Yeah.
And then
I
Davis Webb, it kind of doesn't fucking matter because Sean Payton's calling plays, but I'm sure Davis Webb's going to be getting a good look in the future other places too.
yeah, and that's really all I had for the coaching stuff. Do we have no all the head coaching vacancies are gone, right?
I believe so, and I want to talk a little bit about I think the Raiders and then about the Bills because we never got around to the Bills.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. Kubiak to the Raiders.
yeah, could be. I like that pick. I think that's a good pick. The way they're able to like scheme open JSN, I think they could easily do that with Bowers. I I think it's good. You get an offensive mind to work with Mendoza. I don't know what else to say about that. I'm sure it'll be fine.
The only thing I have to say is I refuse to try and make any sort of prediction on the Raiders anymore. After our dude, we gushed over what they did last offseason. We were
Yeah,
like
I loved it.
huge on. Yeah. I mean and this so I
Honestly, like
wonder
they might not even be bad like with Geno next year if they got like a capable offense. Like who's to say, you know?
I'm curious if Gino's on this team next year.
I could see him
Um
getting cut or traded for sure.
yeah.
Maybe goes
I,
to the Browns or something.
I really hope we've kind of learned and they don't start Mendoza right away. I doubt that's gonna be the case though. I think they're
I'm sure they're running Mendoza right out the gate, which is whatever you want it to be. I don't care. There's some good, some bad comes from that, but it gets them
yeah,
used to the media slander. That's for sure.
that's big. No, you are right on that. I think it does it
You think CJ Stroud was prepared for the media slander?
God.
No, no shot.
Oh, I barely heard that guy speak before he was in the NFL. Other than I'm a quarterback, I don't take tests or something like that. That
Right.
was
I
the
mean, that's all
only thing I never literally heard him say. Um
I don't know. I don't know what they're getting coordinator wise. It sounds like Max Crosby might legitimately be done. I'm seeing from Jay Glazer is saying that Max Crosby's done with the Raiders. I don't.
he was pissed that they shut him down for the season.
Yeah, I truly believe that. I
I think
sure there's a lot of teams that would love to have him. Glad to get that motherfucker out of my division. And yeah,
uh,
I
he's
hope he leaps. I hope he goes and wins a Super Bowl for whoever else.
I, I I normally don't read into stuff like this a lot, but Bears fans have just been incessant about it, and so I'm just gonna have to be. He's been doing nothing but praise Caleb Williams since he was in college. He's a
Hell
huge
yeah.
Caleb Williams guy.
And
Um,
I didn't believe they'd get Khalil Mack when they got him. So like, hey man, maybe you never know.
you
They
you
desperately
guys
need somebody at that spot. So
you guys want to run it back, do it one more time, same position and everything. except we'll just give you a little bit less this time and not
Yeah,
completely fuck your
right.
franchise.
Yeah, fucking right. They're giving that guy a heap. No shot.
I don't even
We'll
remember
trade
what the
you.
Khalil Mack deal was, but it was
It was two
insane.
first, I'm pretty sure. And then maybe like I don't know something else, but
It's
mainly
probably
the
going to
two
be
firsts.
insane.
But it'll be that, and then maybe a little more. But
Do
we'll
you think
we'll we'll trade you. Who's the Tremaine Edmonds and Austin Booker for Max Crosby?
it's funny because you just named one guy I really need to step it up next year and my main cut candidate.
Uh Tremaine being the cut and Booker needing to step up. Yeah, I mean, hey man, he's starting to show evidence of being that type of guy, and you never know. Plus,
It's so
there's some
funny.
decent edges on free agency this year, which we'll get into later in the episode. But
I think
do
we're
we want to?
about there. But we wanted to touch on Joe Brady.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the Joe Brady stuff because this is like I don't even know. This is coming off as like such an emotionally driven decision to even fire Sean McDermott in the first place, and it's just so much weirder when you just decide to promote from within. So it's like my idea about this is like the opposite of what the Browns did with the Jim Schwartz stuff. Like they probably wanted to just keep it going with Joe Brady. It's a good thing with Joe Brady and Josh Allen. We just want to keep this stable. We really just want to fire our defensive coordinator. And unfortunately that's the head coach. So like they're like defaulting to Joe Brady as like this play calling head coach just to keep that stable for forever, and then they're going to go out and try to find a different defensive coordinator. Now I can like get that I for sure, but like I, I feel like Sean McDermott just had you like he fixed the defense a lot of the time, and I
Yeah,
know it's a pretty heavy criticism that he would like want to draft like undersized players, and that might be something that they're trying to veer away from so they can
yeah.
start getting more physical and dominant on defense instead of more like finesse and speed based. And I don't know, I feel like in the end that's what it came down to, is they just wanted to fire their defensive coordinator, and unfortunately that was their head coach. But we'll see how that works out. I don't know who they're talking to for D coordinator right now, but I don't think there's many options left.
Not really. I think my main thing here is I understand that in theory, but I think I'm agreeing with you on something and then I want to add to it a little bit. Sean is absolutely kind of the glue that held this defense from completely falling apart. I think
Yes.
if 15 other defensive coordinators in the league were in this position with this Bills roster last year, I think you have a way worse outcome. Um, and it's unfortunate that they see it differently than that, but it is what it is. I have a counter argument for the Joe Brady thing. I actually think that the offense is kind of a big issue with this team. I've seen when you have a guy like Josh Allen and a guy like James Cook, and there are multiple games in my head I can think back to this season to where the offense was just completely stalled against subpar or even bad teams. I don't see how you use this as a non-negotiable. We're not messing with the offense. We're moving forward without the glue, the guy that's holding all of this together. It just
Mm-hmm.
is insane to me. And the one that really pops into my head is that Dolphins game. Um,
Yeah.
they literally could do absolutely nothing until the final 3 minutes of this game where they got a pity drive to put some
Mm-hmm.
points on the board. And it's just insane to me. Yeah, you can blame that on the fact that they don't have anything above a fringe wide receiver two on the roster. I mean, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you know,
Really?
not
Like
really.
not really. Like by the time at the end of the season, they were running out Brandon Cooks as their like main outside and deep threat. Like that's sad. That's really sad.
45 years old too.
And like they was hired. Well, technically, they signed Josh Palmer to make like that kind of outside role, and then he like spent all season hurt, and then Keon Coleman
Yeah,
like goes backwards instead of taking a leap, and yeah, they had nothing out there. But I mean,
absolutely nothing. And they're
Khalil Shakir.
Khalil Shakir, sure. And you have one of my favorite tight end tandems in the league, obviously the Bears. we'll be
Kincaid
talking
spent
about.
some games out, and Knox is
Yeah,
like maybe so like whatever. But
they
the
both
Bears
did.
do
I
have like
think
the best tight end room in the league, don't they?
I love it. Yeah, I
I
would put
think
it as my
it's.
favorite.
I don't know who I'd put above it. Like maybe the Browns if Njoku wasn't a free agent, but he is.
Yeah,
So, but
yeah,
anyway,
it's fair. Um,
they apparently didn't like how that Broncos game went and poached two coaches from the Broncos to be their offensive and defensive coordinator. Uh, it's Jim Leonhardt, who was the team's assistant head coach and passing game coordinator, defensive passing game coordinator. And then they grabbed Pete Carmichael to be their offensive coordinator, and I don't know what he did, but they wrecked up the Broncos shit a little bit. So I we'll see. He says he likes how that defense built. There's not like outside of like Pat Surtain and then like Benito, sure, but even Benito was like he's a second rounder,
yeah,
not like that high end talent. Like it's kind of made out of just like scraps that are all now like playing at an elite level. So maybe that is what they need. Maybe he can do a similar thing as the as Sean McDermott. And hey, he was an assistant head coach, so
yeah. We'll take
maybe
it.
you hit all the right notes. This is seeming like a lot of ifs, though. You're right.
A lot of ifs, but and I'll even play the devil's advocate too because I did the same thing with the Raiders. I was dead ass wrong about them last year. I was dead wrong in the fact that they need a true wide receiver one to be a competent team. I was wrong about that. They were very much a competent team this year. Yeah, some hiccups and yeah, they didn't get it done in the playoffs, but I mean, they made a pretty decent run, and the playoffs, I think, exposed some glaring holes that the team has that they needed to see. Um, so sure, I'll play devil's advocate here. Maybe they know better than me. Likely they do. Um, let's see it in practice, I guess. But I'm not giving up on the whole go get a receiver for this man aspect of this conversation. That is the one thing I will say I know.
Yeah, I mean, if we want to move over to free agency, there's a pretty decent set of receivers in the class, I would say.
And it's going to be funny to go from where I was going with this rant a little bit here, and then this is the name I mentioned, and you're gonna laugh. But having a one uh, is is very important. Having a room as well is also important. Multiple guys that
Sure.
you need to cover. Do you
Yeah.
think Wandale Robinson's bad?
Yeah. If they got Wandale Robinson, that would be goofy.
Air,
I don't like
air,
having him, Shakir, and then I don't know if Curtis Samuel is still gonna be on roster, but they'd just be chock full of like little slot dudes.
yeah, and he's not obviously not like just somebody I had on my. I didn't have this for the Bills, but he's on my free agents list, and I thought not terrible.
No,
I
interesting.
yeah, I'm pulling up
I
the big list though.
I like the idea, and he's not a free agent. I like the idea a little bit of them going and trading for AJ Brown. Or I've also heard of the idea of them reaching out to try to trade Brian Thomas Jr. and I could get on board for that too. Um, there's some names I like. Mike Evans would be a good get for the Bills. I mean, it'd be tough knowing that he's probably going to get hurt at some point. Romeo
Yeah,
Dobbs, I think, would be exactly
I
what
like
they
that one.
need. Like he like Keon was supposed to be that like ex dominant outside guy, and then like I think Dobbs is plenty good in that role, and you could throw him right in, and then you get a serviceable outside receiver. But those are my
Yeah,
favorites.
all solids. I do think that I think they're in such a headspace right now that they're going to be thinking very macro with a lot of their decisions moving forward. So I don't see an AJ
Oh
Brown major
yeah,
move. I don't see a Mike Evans move. Maybe,
I
maybe
guess
my
the Evans. I mean, but I get the
Evans. I
AJ
could
Brown.
see
They'd have to trade for him.
Evans. I could see a veteran deal. Something like
A
that.
year,
It it also really kind of depends on what Tampa Bay kind of wants to do here too, because I he seems like a pretty loyal guy in the
I
sense to
heard
where he
he's.
would.
I heard it's probable he moves on. Like the Bucks don't
Okay,
want him back.
they've got a lot of options at the position,
Yeah.
and it's a major blow because he is going to go down as a Tampa Bay Bucks legend for sure. But I mean,
Man, maybe am I seeing mixed three reasons why the Bucks will re-sign Mike Evans? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe they do bring him back.
yeah, I can really see that either way.
I think they probably should just let him go, man.
I, that's where
Been
I'm
a fun
siding with.
ride, but
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, not
Um,
biased because he's totally not one of my favorite targets for the Chargers.
so
I would love that.
okay, so Debo's a free agent. I'm
Yeah,
not.
my most notable free agents I found are Pickens, Alec Pierce, Mike Evans, Debo Samuel, Jawan Jennings, Rashid Shaheed, Romeo Dobbs, Wandale Robinson, Keenan Allen, DeAndre Hopkins.
Well, okay, yeah, I like a lot of those. I just actually had something point out to me that I'm shocked about. Christian Kirk has been in the league longer than Debo Samuel.
That shocks you? I remember him being like because I know he didn't really like he wasn't a big name until he got that Jags contract. And then suddenly
Yeah,
everybody knew him because they're like, who the fuck just got all that money? And but yeah, no, I mean he hung around on the Cardinals for a good while.
yeah. I don't know why that just seems weird to me, but I
Debo kind of
like
came and
your
went,
list.
oddly enough.
I really like the idea, especially out of the list that you presented for the Bills. I think a really good move here would be Alec Pierce. He
Yes.
straight up was the Colts' best receiver last year, I would
Yeah.
say. Um,
Yeah.
I would just like this move a lot. Good for a deep ball. He's just a dog.
Yeah, there are so many teams I'd love to see Alec Pierce on. My deal is like you got to bring him back if you're the Colts. You
Yeah,
just have to. He's come so far, and I've heard some rumblings that that Pittman might actually be on like a trade candidate that they might be willing to move off of him, and I think that's completely reasonable because Pierce is doing basically everything that you'd like want a Michael Pittman to do. Josh Downs has been like a breakout candidate like basically every year, and I really think they could get a lot of value with him getting a lot underneath and playing in the slot. I mean, Tyler Warren obviously is getting a lot of like design touches, and it just leaves Michael Pittman in this like weird Romeo Dobbs type role, and it's just like how much money is he making? I don't think it's really worth it for the Colts to hang on to him, and I think he can go to a like I don't know, maybe you can send him to like the Broncos or even the Raiders or something like somebody who like needs just something to get their like young guy off the ground, but.
yeah,
But if he's a free agent, the Chargers better sign Alec Pierce because Alec Pierce, with everything he's able to do, like outside and like deep in a Mike McDaniel offense, would be disgusting.
yeah.
I would be like, they better give him a blank check if he hits free agency.
I would love the whole tandem there, including Gadsden and including McConkey,
And Ladd,
and
like they're all pretty fast. Like I think Mike McDaniel could do some work.
very notably not including Keenan Allen.
Not including who?
Keenan Allen.
Oh, I'd be really
Very
bummed if he.
notably.
Yeah.
I
Who could benefit from a Keenan Allen? Who's
In 2026, teams that could benefit from a Keenan Allen.
who needs a wide receivers coach? Who's
Listen, I
I was thinking maybe like the Panthers.
yeah,
That might be okay since Tet's more of like an X type guy as well.
if he could find a way to limit his role a little bit more than because with both the Bears and the Chargers these last two seasons, I liked the idea of his veteran presence. I wanted to literally see less of him.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted
Well, and
him
like
to,
wherever he goes, he's gonna live in the slot, so he's got to go
yeah,
somewhere where like that's actually just a spot that's available. Like he could even go to where he originally was gonna go, like the Texans would be interesting,
I'd be
I
fine with
think,
it.
but because he can still obviously do the stuff like find spots and zones, the stuff that savvy veterans can do, but. Yeah, if you have a guy who makes a lot of like getting in different spots and in formations and stuff, then you probably shouldn't bring him in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate like um Washington. Eh,
I don't hate that
not
either. That's actually I could
I
get on
think
board with Washington.
I think that could work. Um he especially with his age and everything, there's just such a niche that he needs to fit into at this point in his
Right.
career that there's just so few teams that he really can. But um yeah,
I agree.
curious to see what happens there. I'm not you, Keenan Allen, but I would love to see you go out the with this.
Just call it a career,
Just
retire.
call it
I'd kind of be
um,
cool with that too.
two
Retire a charge.
pretty yeah, and two respectable seasons to go out on when his career was kind of in question. You know, he put up, I think, I don't remember if he had 1,000 with the Bears or not last year. I don't think we had any 1,000-yard receivers, so I know he was the leading receiver
I don't
last
know.
year.
I don't think he got 1,000.
I think it
I
was
don't
like
know
800 or something like that. I know he was our leading receiver, but he had a pretty decent year with Caleb his rookie year, and then, started out hot this year actually.
for sure.
But
Um,
yeah,
we mentioned Wandale Robinson earlier. I feel like he would be good on the Chiefs. I
I
was
like
thinking
that.
about that
Well,
today. I think I know that he's become a more well-rounded receiver, but like getting him in like a gadget role and like counteracting that like with Xavier Worthy over top, I think that could be pretty dangerous.
yeah, yeah.
But,
I don't mind that move at all. Um, I, I kind of just have random fits on here. Um,
who are
I
you
would
thinking?
I would like Tyler Linderbaum to be a Charger.
Oh yeah, you and me fucking both, bro. God, dude, dude, like he has to get signed back, like by the Ravens. Like it'd be
I've
dumb
seen
to
a
let
lot of that being a possibly a no.
dude. Like
Obvious,
if
obvious.
like him and Alec Pierce both hit free agency, like obviously you sign Linderbaum. Like that should be our number one target this year if he's
Yeah,
available.
yeah,
Like
and
we need that
the
so bad.
obvious, yeah, obvious pick there, but really, just a lot of these centers that are slated to hit the open market. I hope one of them does, and the Chargers need to snag them immediately. Connor McGovern as well.
Yeah. There's not many either. Like I went through like the big list and like the inspiring names at center. There's very few.
There was only one last year, and the Bears got him in Drew Dolman. That was literally the
Yep.
only center of note that was hitting the open market last
Yeah.
year. And well,
And he runs a scheme that we didn't run, and now we're going to run. So
yeah,
that's why we didn't sign him the first time. And it's like, God damn it. God damn it.
we got him now, baby. Sorry.
Congrats, though.
Um,
Um, I like him.
yeah,
I mentioned Cade Mays on the pod as well. Like, there's a lot of guards I would like the Chargers to go after, and then if your team's looking for a guard, then you can take these names as well. Isaac Sayumalu. Sorry,
yeah.
Sean, butchering your guy's name. From the Steelers, David Edwards. I think he was a Bill. Elijah Vera Tucker, Joel Batonio, Kevin Zeitler, Greg Van Rotten, Dalton Reisner, and Dylan Parham. But even these, it's like mostly veterans that kind of had a fall off. Like I would
Yeah,
probably trust to bring some of these guys back. Like Joel Batonio, he only allowed 2 sacks all year, and their line sucked. Like, and he was kind of just the pillar there. Elijah Vera Tucker's been great, but he's had 3 season-ending injuries. Uh, I'll take in either of the other two guys. The Steelers guy, decent in pass protection, and Edwards was good in pass protection too. But
where you at with
we need
Kevin Zeitler at this point?
Kevin Zeitler. I mean, he was terrible this year, but the offensive line for the Titans was a complete disaster. So I kind of want to blame coaching for that.
I do
I'd be cool
too.
giving him a shot.
Yeah, my thing is though, is when's he gonna call it? I
True.
I know we're getting pretty damn close. He's actually going to be one of those guys that every year I'm probably going to be looking to see if he's calling it.
Right.
I didn't. The
Same
main
with
reason I
Baton.
asked it, yeah, for sure. And main reason I asked is because I genuinely was curious because I avoided the Titans like the plague this year. Um,
Why would you watch him?
So I didn't know if
You
that
see like
ended
the
up being good
first
or
6
bad.
Cam Ward games, and you're like, yeah, he looks okay. We'll watch next year. We're fine.
That's kind of where I was at because well, just from watching Caleb Williams last year to this year, when you're in that bad of a position, I don't want to evaluate you
Yeah,
because then I'm
same.
now wrestling with the fact of like, okay, what percentage of this is actually glaringly obvious shit that you need to fix, or are you just being thrown to the wolves right now?
And
Different.
it's a tale as old as time. It's like every first round pick quarterback goes through that shit, and then they start looking a little better as they get going. And it's just you can't even really include the first season. The team that drafts you is just so fucking horrible. Why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just have my Bears quick quick three hitter for who I think we go for, or who I'd like to see. One from three different positions, and then what your thoughts on one particular guy. I would love to see Jalen Phillips.
Yes.
I would,
I love Jalen Phillips.
especially because I love Max Crosby. And the idea of Max Crosby or Miles Garrett or somebody hitting the Bears, even to throw the future at it a little bit. You know, because when they did it with Khalil Mack, nothing was figured out. And they just knew, okay, nothing's figured out yet, but our defense is going to be figured out. We're going to be solid.
Okay, yeah, I'll say because before the year before that, they had like a top 10 defense already. Like that was why I thought they weren't going to trade for him because the defense was already sick. And but then they're just like, we're just going to turn it into a number one and
Yeah,
turn.
I said it kind of wrong. We mainly they had one thing figured out, so then they're thinking, okay, well, let's bolster that one thing and be
Yeah.
like elite, and then we'll figure the rest out. Now we're in the position of we kind of have everything at least to a manageable point. Everything's mildly figured out. We're getting
Mm,
there. My
yeah,
defense is
I
definitely
think
a question.
yeah, I think there's a fair amount of holes that were like I think it would be impractical to go do like a Max Crosby. So like for you to think like we're gonna go get Jalen Phillips on like more of the uh who is the player that signed away from the Eagles? Um oh man, who was that?
When
An edge player that signed away from the Eagles after they
Josh
won the
Sweat,
Super Bowl. Josh Sweat, yeah, like get like a Sweat type contract where it's not like that true top end. Like maybe that'd be more worth your value than like a 1A pass rusher and several draft picks, and
yeah, because
then you can start feeling because like linebacker is going to start getting thin, and that's going to be a need, and you have multiple safeties hitting free agency, and
yeah,
yeah, but
yeah,
so
that's
I
going to
think
be huge.
Jalen Phillips would be nice. I doubt maybe you could get like Trey Hendrickson on a good deal,
I
considering
don't want
he's
that.
going to be. You don't want that. That's
I
fair.
actually don't want
I was
Trey
thinking
Hendrickson.
him. Yeah, I was thinking him. I was thinking Adafe Owe. Obviously, I think
Yeah,
I feel like the Chargers are going to try to bring him back. Like I think that's the smartest decision personally.
I'm scared about
Boy,
Adafe Owe, and for one particular reason is he's completely revitalized by Jesse Mentor. I'm scared to
right.
sign that guy to any long-term deal or lucrative deal.
I was wondering if he just signs back to the Ravens. He just goes. I mean, like, why the fuck not? Like, I mean, you
Genuinely,
literally
why not?
that turned you into like a stud and like just fuck it, dude, go back. Which I think he'd be plenty fine in the Charger system. Like I didn't even get to talk about Chris O'Leary. I'm gonna do a Chris O'Leary thing real quick. Chris O'Leary was the safeties coach that we lost last year that I was really bummed about. He went out to coach Western Michigan and which is in the MAC, but he turned them in from like the 107th ranked scoring defense to like the 9th ranked scoring defense in the nation in like 1 year, and he runs like basically the same scheme as a Jesse Minner. Him and Minner go back like way too far. They've had like several gigs together where they work together. They're like inseparable, but they share the same defensive philosophy and like everything that Minner does, Chris O'Leary does too. And the one little wrinkle is that at least in college, Chris O'Leary sent a little bit more pressure and sent the blitz a little bit more often, which is exactly what I want from a defense. I like physical defense. I'd rather take risks, make big negative plays to get yourself in advantageous situations like third and long. So I think Adafwe coming back would be plenty great for the Chargers, and I think if he went to somewhere like the Ravens, it'd be good too. But outside of that, I mean, we did see him completely bottom out in Baltimore before they got that coordinator, but yeah, it's hard to say. I think he'd be a good pickup though, especially
Yeah,
since you already.
yeah. I
Mm,
um I don't know. A lot of things Bears could do. I have a couple more here. Um Going off of a little bit of my note on, I think Tremaine Edmonds is a huge candidate. And listen, I love the
yeah,
dude. He started the whole "It's Chicago" thing, and came onto this team a couple years ago, was underperforming greatly, turned it around. He's kind of turned into a fan favorite a little bit. I'm kind of indifferent on him, mainly because I was so down on him when he first started with us. And I mean, it obviously improved, but I'd be fine cutting him. He's making a hell of a lot of money. I say go get Devin Lloyd. Um, and we can add to this whole turnover monster that this defense seemingly kind of has. I mean, the I think
yeah.
Devin Lloyd did end up as the top non-bear on the interceptions list.
I believe it. I know, and like it's not only like because I was going into the Devin Lloyd conversation being like, oh, it's a lot of turnovers, there's a lot of volatility in that, but like PFF graded him like in the top 10 in like all facets of
Yeah.
linebackering, like playing in coverage, stopping the run, getting pressure. Like he really is like an all around linebacker, and as long as you can like bank on that versatility, like staying where it needs to be, and like him continuing to be a dominant player, like I don't know how much cap space you have, but like him mixed with another edge probably could be pretty filthy for the Bears, especially like you said, in creating turnovers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I because I'm scared with the edge situation a little bit. I don't think Austin Booker, fourth rounder, it's one of
He's a
the
fourth.
blue
Oh
school.
yeah, they traded up in the fourth round. I thought he was a fifth rounder this whole time.
He's either from Duke or Kansas. I don't remember which one. Duke or Kansas. I think it's Kansas. I think I've said Duke a lot before, though. It's one of the two. It's one of the blue schools. But
Blue basketball school.
for some reason, whenever we drafted him, I said, this something might happen here. And then I don't even remember who. I don't know. I even believed it would never happen. But he's improved a lot. I don't know if he's ever going to be able to be a guy noteworthy of being on the other side of Montez Sweat. But maybe we need to improve upon him. Who knows? But yeah, that would be nice with Devin Lloyd. And then, last one I have, Braden Smith. I like Braden Smith. Um,
Me
Huge
too.
thing
Like,
here though, Bassett is only if he's okay with moving over to left, or Darnell's okay with moving over.
uh, that's a tough. I mean, it's like it's pretty like it's a big change. I think to
It
switch
is.
switch tackle positions. Yeah, that's tough. I don't know. I don't know about that.
Yeah,
I feel like go ahead.
I've just always liked Braden Smith, and I like his story too. He's overcome a lot.
I was gonna say
He's
it. He's been really reliable for the Colts for years. So
Yeah. Now straight up at left tackle, we do have Cam Robinson. Um,
could be do worse than that.
yeah.
I'm sure.
Well, I don't know.
I know from experience.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot that could happen. Well, my big thing here is Ozzy, I believe, has the same injury that oh
Slater,
Rashawn Slater has.
the patellar tendon or whatever.
Yeah, so he's gonna be out probably a good chunk, if not all, of next season.
Yep.
I
On the bright side, Rayshawn Slater's trending well. So I mean that
Yeah,
maybe Trepulo, but
Tripilo,
Trepulo.
Tripilo.
He's maybe he'll have a chance to come back soon.
Yeah, I mean, really young. It was
Long
his
shot.
rookie year. Um, we'll see there, but my main focus here is Jalen Phillips. That's the real main takeaway from this, I think. that needs to be
Those
pursued.
two together could be good. It does worry me because, like, I don't know how many times I'm gonna fall for the Eagles player hitting free agency. It seems like they kind of get the most out of people, but I did like him before. He was good before he got there. It's just it's scary to deal with.
Yeah, for sure. Um, and then the last thing I wanted to discuss on free agency, where are you at with Daniel Jones? Where do you think?
Am I wrong to think the Colts should just bring him back? Like what other option do they have without the draft picks? I mean, they could do something like I mean, I think they've been talked about being like the Kyler team for a while, but yeah, I think you just bring him back. Is he really worth it to any other team than the Colts when he's like is almost definitely not going to start the season?
Yeah, I don't really know. There are a lot of places in the NFL that are really in need of something at the quarterback position. I think a lot of people might have taken swings on him after this year if the injury wouldn't have happened.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Colts would have kept him around if the injury didn't happen,
yeah, it's fair.
for sure.
I'm just curious what the conversation looks like here, because I mean, it's just kind of weird because on one hand you have this season in which Daniel Jones, the offense itself was a really well-oiled machine pretty much the entirety that he was playing, but he was only like a huge facilitator in that aspect, I feel, for a few weeks. And then it's weird to think that they have that mindset, but yet on the other hand, Carson Wentz a few years ago, after a mistake towards the end of the season, I feel like they just entirely based their decision on their future with him off that.
I do think that was a lot of a Jim Irsay decision, though, and
That's fair.
you
He's
know,
not, yeah.
rest in peace and whatever.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't know though. One team like I could see him going back to Minnesota, maybe. Like
Yeah.
they probably want to bring in some competition. They wouldn't feel pressure to start him right away. Like there'd be no reason to because they like ideally you want to start JJ McCarthy. There's familiarity there. Like they have the weapons like the same way that the Colts do. They have an elite offensive mind the same way the Colts do, and that might be like the perfect guy to put some pressure on JJ if the Colts don't bring him back.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically what his role seemingly was going into this season. Uh,
Yeah, he sells on that role, man.
yeah,
Do not name that man the starter ever.
yeah,
QB
I wouldn't.
two. So
Um,
you want to talk about him? What do you think about Malik Willis? Where do you see him going? Or is there any place that you like for Malik Willis?
um, I've seen Miami thrown around there. I
That'd be cool.
don't mind that. I don't have any reason to believe that's going to happen. you know, um,
You think Tua getting traded?
I don't know what happens there because I don't know where you value him. Um, you
It'd be like a
can't.
cat for sure. One of those like we'll send you Tua and a second round pick for Dak Prescott.
I mean, because his like huge extension has it's kicked in, right?
I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Was this like year one of it?
Yeah, I think so. It's bad. It's really bad. Like it's gonna
Man.
be like a tough get off of, but like they're tearing it down anyway. Like now is exactly the time to do that. Like the Broncos, like their highest paid quarterback right now is Russell Wilson. Like,
Yeah.
and they just made the AFC Championship. Like you can recover faster than you think. And I don't know.
It was a 4-year, $212 million extension. It runs through the 2028 season. Yeah.
Yikers.
This was the first year of it.
Who wants a savvy veteran? Yeah,
Oh
where's
boy.
Tua to the Colts? That's such a Colts move.
It's this deal is gonna have to be like Tua and two firsts for a
Yeah,
first.
it'd have to be a rare one for Joe Burrow.
Yeah. Yeah. Wild.
Uh, I've heard the take for back to Malik Willis. I've heard the take that he should just go to the fucking Rams and be their backup until Stafford calls it. And then you get to sit behind, learn even more. You get to be with McVay and have an elite one, and you don't have to go play for like the Browns or some bullshit. Like just take a
Yeah,
backup job and be ready for the future.
I like that. That's it's not
Yeah.
bad. It's
And we'll I mean,
probably a nice thing to work for a well-run organization.
yeah. I mean, that'd be the best. Like if you want to just get a bag real quick for a garbage team and do that, I mean, yeah, sure, but I don't know, man.
Uh, you don't see free agents
Um
going to the Packers all the time.
there's a lot of running backs this year in free agency. We got a K9 who like almost definitely is getting an extension. I don't see him
Yeah,
hitting free agency. That'd be so dumb at this point. I whatever. Brees Hall, Travis Etienne is gonna be a free agent. Rico Dowdle, Tyler Algier, who I would like as a Charger, I think. Javante Williams, Najee Harris, J.K. Dobbins, who I think should just go back to the Broncos. I I know it'll probably be a cheap deal no matter what, but I think he's good there and it's worth keeping him around. Rashad White, Kenneth Gainwell, and Brian Robinson.
yeah, quite a few.
Any names jump out there to you and where you might like to see them go?
Travis Etienne is such a weird player to ever try to find a pulse on in terms of how he's performing, what his value is around the league, how he's utilized, really anything. Uh,
I completely agree. It's weird.
I've
It's
thought
weird.
that that guy it was kind of being like benched like four different times.
Yeah, and then it happened all over again, and he was like all out, like balling out for the Jags, and then still ended up in like a split timeshare. And I don't know. I've heard him to the Bears. I think that's a weird like, yeah, that just seems like a waste of money. Like then you'd probably have to move off Swift or like just take Monangai out of the situation, and then you got like conflicting skill sets. I don't like that at all. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
It's hard to pick a running back team.
I can see us going for Algier.
Algier would be cool, man. I
Um,
because like I mean obviously I don't take him as a one, but like if he can sign to like it be somebody's David Montgomery, dude, yeah, let's do it.
yeah,
I would love to see him with Armarian Hampton.
yeah.
I heard I don't know. Javante Williams is an interesting name because like I kind of thought he was just dead, and then he had like a resurgence year in the Cowboys, and kind of petered off late. But you could take a risk there on somebody. I,
I traded him after week
all
one
the
in fantasy because I didn't believe.
yeah, that was fun. We got to have some laughs about that for a little bit.
Hey, DeAndre Swift ended up having a couple good weeks.
I feel like any of like ETN or Brees Hall would be great on the Cowboys if Williams is gonna walk.
Yeah.
Get a little bit of
Um,
juice in the running back room. They're already going to be pass heavy like crazy. Because I mean, I imagine they're going to extend George Pickens or extend George Pickens. Um,
yeah, I feel like
Either of those
that's
guys could be
definitely
good for the
happening.
Broncos. What's up?
I feel, yeah. Um, I don't know. Brees Hall is a weird one for me. I saw a lot of people saying Bears trading for him. Um,
Why?
I don't
Why?
know.
I don't. Is Swift supposed to like? Are you supposed to be moving off of Swift or something?
It's not even his last year. I think he's got 1 year after this next year on his contract. I don't know. It's weird.
Whatever.
Yeah.
No, I think this is his last year. I think he signed a 3 year, right? Three twenty
You're
four.
right. You're right. I think you're right.
I guess that could be why. Maybe they're moving off Swift, which wouldn't. I don't think that'd be the worst idea. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's really worth it to move off of him and then sign another one, but I don't know. I guess you can't just go in with Monangai and call it. That you need a little more than that. But
I I liked Brees Hall's fit with the Chargers when Greg Roman was there. Um, actually, I might even like it better.
I I'm with you on liking it better because like McDaniel is kind of like he is gonna like establish the run. That's what he wants to do. He's still a Shanahan guy,
Yeah.
but it's just so tough when when like Vidal became like a serious guy and Hampton like he hasn't like really shown it yet, but like he has these flashes where you just kind of like know he's gonna be good. And like Daniel Popper like has exceptional shit to say about him, and I'm hoping that comes to fruition personally. And it makes it hard to want to get another guy in the room, but
Yeah.
if we get a dominant running back, if Hampton's not going to be it, and we wanted to get out of somebody else, that'd be great. But
Mm.
I don't know. Any
Yeah.
more running back stuff?
Um, no, I think I'm good. Honestly, uh, oh, Drake May listed as full participant. Okay, I got a notification about Drake May. I'm like,
Oh shit.
uh,
That'd be crazy.
yeah, right. Um,
Oh my god.
Running back market for
Um,
me in the last few years has basically just been wait and see because you try to make sense of a lot of things and then, you know, it ends up just like happening way different than what you'd think running back wise. So whatever.
yeah, I mean it's pretty volatile for sure, and
Yeah.
yeah, there's a couple. I would just finish off the offense. We mentioned a couple tackles. There's more tackles I like. Mainly not well-rounded guys. When they're well-rounded, they tend to get contracts.
Yeah.
Where we at? Rasheed Walker from the Packers, a pretty decent pass blocker. I'll take that. Jermaine Illuminor, also good pass blocker. Braxton Jones, I know you know him. Injury issues, I think there's a high upside there. Uh,
Yeah.
Rob Havenstein, which is like the only quality run blocker here. He's getting old and was banged up last year, but it's a slim pickings out here at tackle. I would say Rasheed Walker would be my guy, trying to value pass blocking a little bit more. And then lastly, tight ends. I don't know. Kyle Pitts, Dallas Goddard, Travis Kelsey, Isaiah Likely, David Njoku, and Chigoziem Okonkwo are my most notable names. And that, I mean, the last guy is hardly notable. Uh, I would like to maybe get Goddard or David Njoku on the Chargers. I think we could still use another tight end, even with Gadsden, because he's more of like a receiving weapon purely, and he's not really lining up inside like that on the line.
Kyle Pitts.
What's up?
Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, where do you think Kyle Pitts is going? My thing is weird with Kyle Pitts because like he needs to go to a team that's like that just needs talent, like not a team that like needs a tight end because he also doesn't really play like a traditional tight end. So like I could see him going to someplace like Tennessee, uh, maybe going to like the Saints would be interesting. What about you?
I think Stefanski could want him back.
Oh, you think so?
I think
That'd
so.
be cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, hell yeah. I
100%.
mean, I guess
I
that'd
think
probably be a reason to do it to go.
I see him pushing for it. I think he fits well in his offense. So
He
yeah,
did work with Harold Fannin, and they're kind of in the same mold, so
yep,
I can see that.
yep.
I can totally see that.
I think he's gonna push for that. So, if that doesn't happen, where can I see him going? Really just kind of depends on what happens to the market elsewhere. But I don't know, maybe you can see like Seattle trying to grab someone
Yeah.
like a
Oh
Kyle
wow, that'd
Pitts.
be cool.
You know,
That'd be really cool.
I could see something like that. One of
Yeah,
the
that helps too because they always trying to put JSN in those different formations and sets, and then you could get a little bit more creative with Kyle Pitts too.
yeah,
We'll
yeah.
see
I
if they
think he
still
would.
stay creative without Kubiak there.
Yeah, that's very good point. Actually, puts a fork
Yeah.
in what I just said. And speaking of on tight ends, still the question of the hour: where's Taysom Hill ended?
Oh, dude, I forgot the best free agent on the market, the football player Taysom Hill.
Yeah, uh, he just popped up on this
He
list
is
I'm
gonna
looking at.
go play. What's up?
He just popped up on this list I'm looking at.
He's gonna be a bear. Ben
Love him.
Johnson's got some disgusting trick plays for Taysom Hill in his
May be
bag.
true.
Might be
He,
true. Might be.
Travis
I don't know,
Kelsey's a
man.
free
Some
agent?
tight end needy team is gonna pick him up.
I didn't realize Travis Kelsey's a free agent.
Yeah, yeah. I mentioned him in the list. This was brought up on like Stay Hot a while back, but could you imagine him like not retiring and signing to like the Panthers, and then like Taylor Swift is having to go to like Panthers game?
Oh god.
Do you think she even would?
What if it's the Chargers or the Bears?
Dude, that'd be so funny if he signed to the Chargers. That'd be funny as fuck. I'd eat that shit up for sure. Anybody but Tyreek.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Literally like anybody. I'll take any bum. Like I'll take Jerry Judy's worthless ass over Tyreek.
Yeah.
uh
Um.
we can get we're pushing time. We're just gonna be a long one, honestly.
Yeah.
Um
I'm actually I'm pretty good on free agency stuff, and I really don't have. I mean, I'm obviously some stuff to talk about Super Bowl, but nothing too
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I mean
Just
we've been talking about it a lot. We can probably pivot on. Maybe we'll mention defenders later on. Like there's some linebackers, corner safeties, and I think there's some. I think there's actually some quality talent. Like I'll even go over like one or two. I think Jamel Dean. Uh,
mm,
he allowed 46.9 passer rating on throws in coverage, first in the league. I think he could be a pretty valuable piece. Interesting, maybe for the Chargers to hire. Jalen Watson on the Chiefs has been stably getting better and better every year, and has been a really like reliable tackler. And yeah, other than that, there's a bunch of like random guys at linebacker and some safeties. Oh,
yeah,
Brisker's going to be a
Kyle
free agent. That's an interesting one.
Brisker's a free agent. I did free. Yeah, actually, I do want to mention that Brisker's a free agent. Byard's a free agent. I do think they're going to try to get Byard back for sure. And
I think
I
they
support
should
it.
too.
I support it
I
so much.
What I
I
learned
think
about
he's
Byard is that he had an 89.9 run defense grade. He wasn't that guy like even in his prime. Like he's like aging so gracefully.
he was about to actually. Is this his prime? he just
Maybe. Like I
he
mean like
just
I'm
led
going to
the
say
league in
no, but like
interceptions too.
yeah.
I mean, I know kind of
Right.
a lot of people
Definitely.
hold it in high regard, and maybe it shouldn't be, but still noteworthy.
But hey, when you add run game stability, man, like what more can you really ask out of a safety when shit's going well? But
Yeah.
uh
Um,
and then
and
also Brian Cook is going to be a free agent. I think he's a really good safety. He's ranked fifth best among safeties, 5.6% missed tackle rate. Jalen Hawkins on the Patriots had the second best run grade and the seventh best passing grade. I think he's going to be a valuable free agent. Alohi Gilman, just come back to the Chargers, man. That'd be great. That'd be super great. And then Tony Jefferson, I don't think he is going to come back if not for the Chargers. I just don't see that happening. So, and he
yeah,
loves Chris O'Leary and has said many, many great things about him before he got hired. So,
what are you talking
so
about?
yeah, there's
Joe
all that. Do we want
Flacco?
to get into Super Bowl or
Yeah, we can get into some Super Bowl stuff.
get into Super Bowl? You change your pick?
Let me talk about whether or not I changed my pick. Um, I do think we kind of do need to stop about the strength of schedule thing a little bit at this point, and that might even counteract some what I've said in the past a little bit. Now, not completely discredit it. I just
Sure,
don't think personally it's as big of a deal to include in conversation compared to like college. I think it's always a great conversation to have in
yeah,
college football because the gap is
sure,
just so wide. The gap is so much more narrow in the NFL, but it is still a fair assessment. I just hate that
sure,
it's like the thing to talk about with this team because um I don't think that what we've seen in recent performances out of this Patriots offense are their ceiling by any means. I think they're way better than what they've looked in the playoffs. It's the same thing on the other side of the ball too. I think Patriots are a very solid team. They put up good performances against good teams. Um, and every team this season has been beatable to a complete fault of this season. Nobody's been complete, absolute top dog. I don't think Seattle probably would be the team, but you know, I do still
Right.
think Seattle takes it though.
You still taking Seattle?
I am still taking Seattle.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad to hear that.
I've come. I was thinking this was actually going to be a blowout. I've come around on that a little bit. I think
Right.
this is going to be a good team or good game. They do. Uh, they got to attack the interior offensive line though. That right guard position and center are Seattle's kind of weaknesses if they really have one. I would say. And trying to
You said they're
pressure Sam
Seattle's
Darnold.
weaknesses,
Yeah,
like the interior O line.
yeah, would be that right side and their center. You got Gray Zabel and Charles Cross over here. You're covered. I
Right.
think
I
if
mean,
you're
that's yeah.
yeah, if you're doing it from anywhere, it's going to be towards the interior. And I think you have to do that in this game. That's huge.
And the Patriots in this playoffs since getting Milton Williams, right? Is that
Mhm,
his name? Since getting him back, they have been an absolute force up the middle. Like I could really
mhm.
see them taking advantage of something like that. Like that's been
Yeah,
like arguably one of their greatest strengths through this playoff run, where their defense has completely stepped up.
yeah, and I think the more you pressure Sam Darnold, the more you can pray and hope that Sam Darnold of the past shows up. You know, get him frazzled early and often. Uh, it, my thing is though is I think this Seattle defense is going to be able to allow this offense a lot of opportunities. You know, I think the defense is going to get tired. You keep trying to rush the QB to that extent, you're just going to get tired. And I think that this run game, Seattle's run game, is going to be a major factor in this. You mentioned K9 with the free agency coming up. I think he actually solidified his case to get the bag his last game, first game without Charbonnet, and he was just electric, dude.
Yeah, I agree. I completely. I mean, like, yeah, he should have always been getting like this kind of like work, but that would have been the only question leading in is like we don't know that he can take like a workhorse amount of work. Like, no, we do. He's awesome. He
Yeah,
should have been doing it the whole time, and yeah, maybe not because you keep him healthy and now he's able to just like take over. But I think Seattle is pretty clearly better than the Patriots
yeah,
and but that we've seen this though. Like like, and I even saw a video talking about this where like in Patriots Super Bowls, it almost always is the team that's not as good is gonna win. The team that looks worse ends up winning it. It's like every single one of them, even the ones where Patriots looked better. Like the Eagles won, the fucking Eli won twice, and then Patriots won a bunch of comeback ones, and then against the Legion of Boom and shit won the 1 yard line and it's just once you boil it down to one game, it hardly matters what who's like a better. But it's going to come down to, I think, like if you can keep Sam Darnold stable. Like the
yes,
Patriots, I feel like they're going to have an uphill battle going against this team, and it's going to look probably messy because they've had to. But the thing is, they've had to play these amazing defenses already through this playoff run, and it's looked messy, and it's taken a lot to get them back in. But their defense has made absolute mincemeat over what would be some respectable quarterbacks, and then maybe some not so respectable quarterbacks, and I just feel like people think that the offense is still going to look poor against the Seattle defense, but I think the Patriots defense just looks so stout right now. You said it yourself that the interior looks weak. That is absolutely the Patriots' strength, and they've proven that a few different times now, completely like killing them up front. the Patriots, I think they have the corners to run a lot of like either match or straight up man coverage. It's something they've had to run all playoffs. Carlton Davis has really stepped up. Marcus Jones has been really good, and obviously Christian Gonzalez is a freak of nature. And
Yeah.
Since like about the mid-season, Darnold has like fallen off a cliff trying to throw against man coverage, and the whole goal is to like get him into man coverage so that JSN can beat him. But now they have a secondary that can keep up with them. So like the Seahawks are going to be really tasked onto getting JSN open in like creative ways, but they can't do that all game. And I just think anybody else on the Seahawks doesn't have what it takes to get separation against a team like that. And uh, I'm gonna assume that Darnold's not gonna shit the bed because like I don't want to do that unless it actually happens, and then we'll have that conversation. But I don't know. I think I just can't help but feel like the Patriots have a certain magic where they can get this done, and they have already gone against a ferocious defense like that. And as I was looking up information, and I don't think there's very many holes in the defense. I don't think this is going to be a very offensive driven game. I think the Patriots are just going to try to survive it, do the best that they can, really take advantage of the fact that the Seahawks send for a lot and get Drake May scrambling just to like just what they've been doing this whole time. And I'm going to take the Patriots to get the upset. I'm going to stick with that. And then if they lose by 2 scores or something, then I'll get like a clown nose or something and wear it on our second video episode.
There we go.
for picking a massive underdog.
Another big thing here for me too is if the offense that I saw the Patriots have against the Broncos defense shows up to play the Seattle Seahawks defense,
Yeah.
it's wraps.
It's going to be bad.
Wraps.
You're right.
Because I mean, obviously they just benefited so greatly from their offense not being able to do a damn thing. And Seattle is not that way. They're going to run it down your throat. They're going to do it a lot. And Sam Darnold's going to get a couple beautiful balls going too.
We can hope. I mean, he's going to have to beat this secondary for sure. And I think there's a lot of really valuable players on the defense. But I think another point in this is I think we're gonna start seeing how important Ramondre Stevenson has been during this playoff run. I think because he's been doing a lot up the middle. He's been doing a lot of like yards after the catch, and I don't think like Ernest Jones and Nick Emenwari are gonna be allowing that shit at all. They have a really good scheme to like stuff runs up the middle, which is what the Patriots want to do, and but they have a weakness where if they want to try to get explosive plays outside, they tend to allow those a little bit more often. And there were a lot of runs from the Patriots this year from like Travion Henderson and Ramondre Stevenson where they like got these big like 60-yard touchdowns. And I think that the Patriots can possibly get something going there. It's going to be tough though. Like, and you're right. If they come out looking ugly like against the Broncos, it's going to be bad because we said it before. It wasn't all the snow game that happened late. And they weren't efficient against the Texans or the Chargers either.
Not really. And I think I even mentioned this when we talked about it, but I love that we had almost the same amount of game footage of non-weather conditions with weather conditions in that game, and they were both horrible.
Bad.
Yeah. So that cannot be repeated here because I think the Seattle defense is on par with that Denver defense. I think they're. I think
I kind of been sleeping on them for a while. Like I was so busy and distracted by the Houston defense. I think I completely missed how dominant Seattle's defense is.
Yeah, truly. I think I personally would put Denver, Houston, and Seattle on like a tier of their own. For
I think so.
Yeah. Probably Seattle a little bit above the 2, but yeah. And then everybody else is beneath them. Yeah, but
and they've done it a couple times. We'll have to see. We'll have to see.
But how major are we already looking at Drake May if they get this win?
I don't know.
Not us.
The general media is going to be like he's the next Pat Mahomes, but like in all reality, it's like most of this run he's been carried, and I do think he's the franchise guy. But I mean,
this isn't your first.
I think making a grand statement about it if they win is kind of a lot, but
Yeah.
Also, I mean, unless he goes complete sicko mode, and then it's like, oh, okay, my bad. Like, I didn't know you were built that way. But I'm just assuming that's not going to happen because that's just not their philosophy. Like, they don't do that. Like, they play efficient football, and
Yeah. We'll see, man. I do think this is going to be a really good game. I think this is one noteworthy thing I did want to say, and I know we're getting a little hefty on time, but I do
suck
think
it,
this is
dude.
a
Maiden voyage.
really right. This is a really key year that we can have a non QB MVP in the Super Bowl on but for both teams. Personally, I how hesitant do you think they
I
would be to give it to K9 if he just has an insane game?
I could see that. I could see that for sure. I'd be more likely to. I know I could be K9. I was thinking JSN. It's almost
Yeah,
always a quarterback or a receiver. I think it could easily be a running back though. It could be
especially with
him.
Seattle's offense.
Like this is like the friend that's too woke take. I could see uh that corner I just mentioned, not Gonzo, the other one. Uh oh, what's his fucking name? Professional level podcasting right here.
Right.
Carlton Davis. I could see like a
Oh,
super woke Carlton Davis one if they just like ignore Christian Gonzalez and he gets another like 2 interception game and takes one back for a touchdown. And in a game where like the Patriots offense doesn't do much of anything, like similar to like Von Miller and like getting it and how it was almost Aaron Donald.
yeah.
But no, that's not gonna happen. That's just a fun little thing. I think for the Patriots, I don't see anybody getting it outside of Drake May. I don't know who could.
Yeah. Um, that's fair. I did say on both teams, and I'm not really
Maybe
the only, but
Diggs,
yeah, I was about to say the only person that really comes to mind is Diggs, and that's only because just in his career he's proven that he is has the ability to have that big
right?
game.
Yeah,
Um, but
it's just
for
like
no reason other than that.
I feel like they often give it to somebody with like star power, and there just isn't anybody there with that.
Not
And
really.
maybe that's just like a coincidence because like the stars shine. But like, can you really see them like a game where they give it to like Kayshawn Booty or
Yeah,
yeah,
Hunter
I
Henry.
don't know. Hunter Henry. He gets like 2 touchdowns, dude. As a Chargers fan, I'd be proud and mad if he did that.
Oh boy.
But my guess is I'm picking the Patriots, so my guess is Drake May. But I'm gonna guess I'm gonna say Kenneth Walker. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. K9 if if Seahawks take it.
Um, I since I'm picking Seattle, I will pick Sam Darnold. I I think you truly have to set yourself aside to um get the MVP if you're not the quarterback.
Yeah,
And we haven't had that
I could see
too
either of those
much with
guys.
this team this year. Maybe
Um,
JSN for a few weeks. He was very
I could
clearly
see
like,
this.
yeah. But then in
If he
those
gets like
games,
10 catches or something, like 10 catches, like 100 yards, like yeah. But I guess that's an
yeah.
obvious statement. Like if anybody gets that, they're getting it. But
And
whatever.
brings me to the last thing I did have here actually, because you mentioned K9. You think that will ever have losing team in Super Bowl MVP?
No, no.
Yeah,
Who should have got it in a year where a team lost? Who should have got the MVP?
Matt Ryan. That's a 28-3 game.
No, get out of
Um,
here. Oh man. Um, Cam Newton.
Todd Gurley in the year it was Rams
He didn't
and
play a lot
Patriots.
though that year. I I don't think he did a whole lot in that game because they said he was like gonna play, and then they gave C.J. Anderson like more touches
Yeah,
or something.
I think they literally gave him like 3 touches.
Maybe like Brady the year the Eagles won.
Oh, actually, the first Chiefs Eagles Super Bowl, I could see Jalen Hurts. He had a really good game.
Oh yeah, I could see that too for
He had a
sure.
great game. Pat
Yeah,
Mahomes
he did.
did also have a really good game. So
And he got it right.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and you're right. He did have a great game. So like, you're right.
At that point, yeah. Why wouldn't you just give it to the winner then? But yeah,
He
I,
can
cause,
pretend.
yeah, right. Well, you got anything else on the old bowl?
The Pro Bowl, yeah, actually, I saw Garrett Bowles go absolutely sicko mode. He scored like a touchdown and 2 2-point conversions. He was nuts. It was
Yeah,
crazy. It was a good game, bro. I told my buddy, all the friends, that I lost my life savings on betting on the AFC.
perfect timing,
Who'd
mate.
you have winning this one? Who'd you thought was taking this?
Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
Uh, the fans.
the fans. Good answer. Good answer. 12 won the Pro Bowl. The
Shadeur
real, the
Sanders.
real,
Shadeur Sanders is the winner of the Pro Bowl
just
for
getting there,
for
literally.
being
Dude, the
invited.
fact that they had Joe Flacco, Joe Burrow, and Shador Sanders, like two Browns quarterbacks and two Bengals quarterbacks. What a disaster. What an
Yeah,
absolute embarrassment.
awful.
Micah
Listen,
Parsons was out there riding Lightning McQueen, his new scooter.
dude, I was laughing at that.
That's funny as fuck. Did you see the clip where he was like, like
Yeah,
running? Dude, he was goofy as fuck all night. That dude's a whole vibe, man.
yeah.
He was chatting up George Pickens. How do you feel about him going to the Packers, man?
I don't.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
would
feel
suck.
that.
You think he's just going back to the Cowboys?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
who knows? I, I do. I don't see Dallas giving up George Pickens. Though. See that
I
happening? I
feel
think.
like they are going to find that that's more valuable than what they thought Parsons was.
Yeah.
If he goes to free agency, where do you want to see him go besides the Bears?
Steelers. Um, dude, I actually don't know.
You
Chargers.
weren't even prepared for this question. I wasn't even
Um,
prepared because you're so sure he's going back. The obvious Chiefs, you always got to bring it up. Uh, Bills would obviously be sick. Denver would be cool. Not for me, but
yeah.
yeah,
Um,
Tennessee. No, that would not happen.
I like the Bills. I think that would be a good
Bills.
fit.
Niners would be cool. I think Bills would be like. I think like after like not taking receivers seriously for a couple of years, they'd be the most likely to just give him whatever he wants,
Yeah.
make him the highest paid receiver in the league.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So yeah. Geez, Matt Sponhauer asked the question to a lot because he was at Super Bowl week, and he asked a lot of the players a question like, there's a lot of talk about putting domes on every stadium. How do you
Yeah.
feel? And like, I don't know if he just posted a lot of them saying that they prefer playing in the field than in the conditions, but he had like 4 or 5 guys that said that. To be fair,
Yeah.
none of them were quarterbacks, but or receivers.
I've seen a lot of people say that starting at the conference championship, it needs to be neutral site at a dome.
To what end, though? You
Yeah.
know, my
Um,
thing is like, I would really like the NFL to be like sterile like that, to where it's like you just play your best game every time. But the issue is completely non-football related, and it's just that like if you mandate that, that's gonna come straight out of basically everybody's tax money. Like that's
yeah.
just gonna wreck every city that and you just can't afford to do that. So like you kind of just have to get over it and
Yeah.
so, like, I know most people want there to be conditions anyways, so they don't have anything to get over. But, like, for somebody like me who does what kind of want dome games, like, it's just impractical. You can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they do it like at the collegiate level, but it's so, I don't know. I just don't think it makes sense at the NFL level personally.
It also,
I,
like, Why would you want to get the 1 seed then for like one home game?
Yeah,
I I mean, you do
and
get to skip the game, but
yeah, and especially considering the fact that the NFL's already the only one of the major four sports that does the neutral site at all in the play. I
yeah,
mean, NBA Finals, Stanley Cup Finals, World Series, that's all alternating, given it is a 7 game series, but whatever.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason they do it that way. Like, it would be just be way too much of an advantage to have like a home field for the Super Bowl, but there's no way
yeah.
to alternate it. But speaking of World Series, baseball is not worth watching anymore, right?
Wait, what'd you say?
I said, speaking of World Series, baseball's not worth watching anymore, right?
Oh, yeah. You mean considering like the Dodgers and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Macro level, I'm really upset with baseball right now. Um, Micro level on the Cubs, I'm excited. So that sucks.
Maybe one day.
Yeah, right. Um, yeah, I think they need to implement a salary cap, man. I think it's fine.
Yeah, they should.
My dad
I
doesn't
don't
like
see
the
why they
idea.
haven't yet. It's just unreasonable. Like, how do you expect anybody to like take the type of pay cut that you would have to take when the Dodgers are offering you like $500 million? It's just unreasonable.
Dude, and I hate to keep bringing it up, but like, you're the only one not doing it. Like all the
Mm.
other sports are doing it. And I've seen people say, "Oh, it just doesn't translate to baseball." How does it not? How does it not translate to baseball?
That doesn't make any sense. How does it not translate to
Well,
baseball?
they said because pitching and then the rest of your roster, like they're like separate entities and stuff like that. It's like, okay, have a pitching salary cap and position player salary cap. Oh,
I still don't understand why that's even necessary.
it, it,
Like we don't pay quarterbacks like 6 times as much as any other position. Like I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me.
yeah,
But that
it's
sounds like baseball cope.
it is. It entirely is. But yeah, we'll see, man. Hopefully it's a good season, but I don't know. Um, yeah, that's
We have absolutely shattered our time record. You ready to call this?
yeah, that's about all I have. We hung around a little extra because it was first video one.
Because it's Super Bowl week, we had a super special episode. It's way
Yeah, and we
longer.
talked about the Super Bowl for 15 minutes.
God, right? We could have talked more, but there's a lot of stuff. Free agents, and we're fine. Let's
We're
get out of here.
fine. We're fine. Well,
This has been the Chop Shop, now on TV.
visually, yeah, have a good one. Hello. Welcome back to the Chop Shop. Um, yeah, you can look at us. This is Aaron,
I'm Damon.
and
Maiden voyage on camera. We're doing it to it, man. As
yeah,
you can see, the technological shortcomings a little bit. We'll be making upgrades and stuff as we go. But we got our faces on the internet.
that's
That be
that's
enough
what
for
it's all
now.
about, baby.
I'm dressed to the nines for the
Yeah,
first day, looking spiffy as hell in my Herbert jersey.
you had a better idea than me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're not making anything of it. This is like every other day for you.
yeah, yeah. You know how it goes.
I I
Zero
don't, of
sugar,
course.
Dr.
I
Pepper, and all.
Dr. Pepper. See, I mean, not all of us are carried by White Monster, but
I've already had 2 of those today.
it's actually my second one too. I am a fiend. I think I also had a Red Bull at Top Golf today. I went Top Golf for
Oh,
for like a maintenance appreciation thing, and it's awesome. I mean, all I know how to do is drive with golfing, so like worked out pretty good, and I got to have a fucking Red Bull and some appetizers. So
oh yeah, man, dude. Um, yeah. So first video show. Excited to get this going. We've been talking about it for a while, and it's actually here now. So let's just get right to it, man. It's weird in a few ways. This is going to be an unorthodox show because we're actually starting off with NBA today.
Yeah, a brand new show talking whole new sports.
Right.
Uh, OKC traded for the fucking TikTok goat. One of my as not a very strong NBA fan, this is like one of my favorite players because he's just a riot on TikTok and the edits go
Yeah.
crazy. But other than that, I don't know a whole lot about him. I know he's got a lot of promise, but I mean, you mentioned in the chat that he's been battling injuries since he started,
Yeah.
but
He was off to an absolute I there, no doubt in my mind he was going to win Rookie of the Year last year, and then
yeah, that's what I
yeah,
thought. He was like the favorite for a long